Up there. Hello and welcome to the magical episode number 33 of the Jeffrey and Brian Show. I'm Jeffrey.
I'm Brian, and we'll get into that topic down the road a little bit. You know why Jeffrey calls it magical. He's not the only one that calls it magical, but stay tuned for that riveting information.
Yes, we will circle back to that.
Yes, we will. I'm surprised you didn't have that on the ready.
I actually meant to load it up in advance. But yeah, we're just two guys drinking beer, talking what's going on. We got Ray with us again, hiding away in the shadows, being his creepy self. And we love him for it. Always reminding us of something that we didn't bring up before.
Yep.
But today we got a Chauvin update. We're gonna talk about some shootings, Delta Airline getting slapped in the nuts, vaccines for anyone who's not white, and possibly the mark of the beast.
Yep.
Pretty excited about that. That should be fun. Yep. Is that AOC or Marjorie Taylor Greene?
Good question. So we decided earlier that our first topic will be
hold on before we get to the topic. Actually, this is why I wrote it down this time. Remember, you can find us on any smart device. Ask any smart device to find us, and you can email us at the Jeffrey and Brian Show at gmail.com. We'd love to get ideas for topics. We'd love to have you on the show. Just say, hey, I want to come on. We'll send you a link.
Yep.
And don't forget to buy
We're
our
working
merch.
on the merch still. We're working on that.
Smash that like button and buy our merch.
We do need some merch, you know.
What? So we can just feel bad that no one buys it?
well, we'll have 3 sales out of the deal.
All right.
We could all be like a matching uniform. We could all be on the Zoom YouTube video in our matching merchandise.
All right. There's something you wanted to talk about at the start, right?
Yeah. I wanted to talk about the latest incident that happened in D.C. a couple of days ago with the guy that drove his car through a barricade. And
the Trump supremacist that wanted to take over the government because he's a white supremacist?
That was only if you were watching MSNBC. If you waited for the rest of the news media to come up with the actual story, the guy was actually a Nation of Islam follower. And what's more interesting to me is that he was actually a football player here in the Hampton Roads area.
I did not know that.
He went to Christopher Newport University.
Really?
And apparently he's just recently lost a job. And for whatever reason, he decided to drive his car into the Capitol complex.
Criminy.
But
and he brought
you don't hear a whole lot of talk about him being part of Nation of Islam. You don't hear a lot of them talking about him being African American. You know, they're really trying to push those 2 key details under the rug for the most part.
Yeah, I had that involved.
It doesn't fit the narrative, and also, but I also look at this might be an excuse for Nancy Pelosi to keep the National Guard and the fencing in place in the Capitol for even longer now, maybe even permanently.
And Omar, I think it was, that said that if he had an AR-15, even more people would have died.
How does she know that?
Yeah, and I was like, and if he had a pressure cooker bomb, even more people might have died.
I mean, those are stupid statements, you know, from people that don't have a clue what's going on. The
guy brought a knife. He brought a knife to a gunfight.
The reason the cop died was he was in between the car and the barricade. The cop wasn't where he was supposed to be.
Oh, I didn't. Well, I guess that makes sense, but
he was pinned by the car.
Yeah, well, you said he was Black nationalist or a Nation of Islam?
Nation of Islam.
Okay, because he was also a Black nationalist, and I don't remember which one is which, but Louis Farrakhan is in charge of one.
Nation of Islam.
Okay, and he's the outward anti-Semite that Obama was always referring to and like has pictures with.
Yes.
Not trying to tie anything to Obama, just making sure we're talking about the same guy. That was different conversation altogether. Yeah, not a good dude. I actually went and found some of his stuff recorded a long time ago because I was going to record it and play it of some of the stuff he said, and I was like, you know what? some of the stuff I say on this show sometimes borders on racist versus blatant and blunt.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to go out and play full-on racist stuff by Louis Farrakhan with the stuff he said about the Jewish people.
And he's very racist. There's
my goodness. About it. For some reason, we're not allowed to accept that there's such a thing as a racist black person.
No, it's not allowed.
And not just black, but any ethnicity besides white or Asian now.
Yeah, there's been a lot of Asian hate going on right now, and a lot of people are trying to blame it on Trump because he's blaming the coronavirus on China, and they think they can tie it all together to make it look like Trump haters are causing the Asian hate and racism.
It's funny that they're doing that a lot, but it turns out that they've only actually found a situation once where it was a white guy, let alone a Trump supporter, that actually struck an Asian person. Every other time it's turned out to be some crazy Democrat or a black man or a Muslim.
Well, I wouldn't know that from following the mainstream media.
Well, here's the thing: is you need to read their articles. And now, don't get me wrong, CNN's not amazing at it, but the articles are more accurate, and they will do updates. Now, they don't do retractions anymore. They do updates where they put the more modern information, so they correct it without saying that without coming out and saying we were wrong.
Yeah.
And Ray made a good point.
I mean, also, even on the articles, I would say that 95% of the people that are reading those articles don't get past the first paragraph or maybe the second paragraph. They clicked on it because of the headline, and they read the first two articles and move on to something else.
It's interesting you say that. Have you ever taken a journalism class? I'm assuming you have. You were a photographer.
I've got a degree in it.
I was going to say, you were a photography or photographic journalism?
I did both.
Okay.
I started as a photographer, got my photojournalism classification further on in the Navy. I've taken mass communications in college and photography degree. So, yes, I have a communications degree.
So anyone who is listening to us, we're not actually idiots. We just don't care to wear a suit and pretend like we're better than you.
Yeah.
But yes, I forgot where I was going with this. Some of photography?
No, journalism.
Yeah, I forgot what it was. Oh well, that's too bad. I was all riled up and excited too. Why did I bring up? I thought something about pictures, I guess.
Well, you also have in this category.
Well, the thing is, I had a whole bunch of stuff lined up that we could have run through that would have lined up.
Yeah, go for it. Switch on top. Go to the top of that. You've got the boulder shooting, which was another one of the topics we were trying to decide which one to go with.
Actually, I had a look at my list here before I tried out this new voting system he came up with, which is neat. I probably would have done that because it would have started one of these. But yeah, the boulder shooting. No one has brought up the boulder shooting pretty much since it happened, because they found out it wasn't a white supremacist guy.
No.
And they just stopped talking about it like it didn't happen.
Right.
And maybe it's being locked up all the time. People they can't do stuff, and they're cracking. They're losing their mind. I mean, suicide rates are already up. We know this.
Yeah. I don't know what the COVID-19 restrictions are in Colorado, but, it could definitely be a part of the whole situation, because, young people aren't dealing with, the ones that really believe in it are really locking themselves down. They're not handling this very mentally well. They've never been prepared to deal with any kind of stress like this, in school or anywhere,
Not even just that.
About participation awards.
Well, not even just that. We're designed as a species to be social, because we require.
Yeah.
We need each other to survive as a species. I mean, just look at what we've done. Look how we've evolved in terms of helping each other with a little bit of food here and there. To capitalism is helping the entire world because there's resources to go around.
Yeah.
And you're not getting that chance to interact with people. Like, this internet thing is neat and it's fun and it's really convenient, but it's not the same thing as sitting down with your buddy and having a beer and shaking his hand
next to each other. Yeah, no,
and smoking a joint with them or whatever the fuck you do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But no, you can't. Marijuana is legal in what 31 states, but don't you dare pass that joint because you'll die. You know?
Yeah.
It's crazy, man. I'm excited about this episode, man. I think we got something good lined up tonight.
Well, last week's episode was really good too. So
it was, and I did not listen to it. I meant to. I always listen to like 4 minutes of what I publish. Well, just to make sure it doesn't sound like garbage. And I listened. Well, I'm not gonna go through my whole process of editing, and I only save like 10 minutes anyway. But there were 2 or 3 shootings this week, I think.
Yeah.
I know there's one in
Orange. That just means more gun control laws they're going to try to get enacted.
Well, what stops?
And I've heard more people saying that Ruger 55 is really an assault rifle, just because it looks like one, basically.
So you tell me, is all I do is make my gun not look scary and it's not illegal?
Pretty much.
No, seriously, if I paint it like pink and put unicorns on it, and don't put a pistol grip on the stock, on the on the barrel.
Yeah.
Don't have a banana magazine. I could put in a different kind of magazine, and that won't, as long as it doesn't look terrifying like a movie.
Yeah.
That just blows my mind, and that's why it's so easy to get around these laws, because they're going by what it looks like and not how it functions.
Yeah. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what it looks like. It's a matter of what it actually does.
I disagree with even that, honestly. I think if you have the resources to get yourself an A1, M1 Abrams battle tank, you should be allowed to own one.
Can you own one in Massachusetts?
A battle tank? Technically, yes, but I cannot imagine the process to get it. Well, I found out I did a little more digging on gun permits because I want to make sure that I don't give them $100 and a couple hours to be told I did it wrong.
Right.
Apparently, I can have a shotgun in Massachusetts without any kind of permit, but I have to build it myself. And I was like, yeah, that just sounds like a waiting to get hurt, you know?
Yeah.
So I guess I'm gonna have to get an FID and to get a shotgun. And he's gone already. Hasn't even been 10 minutes and he's already on the can.
Say what?
It hasn't even been 10 minutes. He's already on the can.
I know, man.
Here you go.
You know what we need to do? Install a toilet under his feet so he don't have to get up.
Well, that's why I still think it'd be hilarious if we got him like some wicked cheap catheter bag.
We could, we could set up the camera in his toilet so you don't have to leave.
Nice, actually.
You only come on camera when I step away from the camera?
No, there's got a lot of kids in here making noises and stuff.
That's fine. So you got anything else on Boulder you want to go over?
I'm about to hit record again.
Okay.
Sorry, I stopped for a minute. We were just bullshitting and making fun of you.
Of course.
Yeah, we were making fun of you how you hasn't been 10 minutes and you're already on the can.
Well, I've been drinking for a little while.
Well, what I'm wondering is, since you took that jewelry out of your junk, does it spray out in different directions?
No, not anymore.
No, it did for a while.
Yeah.
All right. There was a shooting in Orange in California. I don't remember exactly which one that was or what happened. There's been a lot of gun attacks lately, and people getting ready for attacks with firearms. And that's what makes me want to get a gun here.
Uh-huh.
But like I said, I need a permit to own a shotgun unless I make it myself in this state. And in Virginia, I went and bought a pistol, a handgun.
Yeah.
I didn't need a permit. I just had to prove I wasn't a felon.
Right.
Now, it was illegal for me to conceal it, but I could put it on my hip and open carry that sucker as long as it's visible from 3 directions.
Yeah, they haven't figured out how to get rid of the open carry laws here in Virginia yet.
I like open carry. No, think about it, man.
This is a Democrat state now, so.
Well, think about it, man. Like you're in line, you're in line at the gas station, and you're scratching your neck looking for your next fix. Think about robbing this gas station, and you see the guy in front of you who's got a gun strapped to his hip. you're at least gonna say, you know what, I'll hit the next place. Right.
Uh-huh.
No, he could wrestle the gun away from him. No, the drug addict's just gonna go to the next. It's like electricity, path of least resistance. He's not going to fight you for your gun.
Yeah.
He's just going to not even rob the place. How much crime is avoided because someone sees a gun on someone's hip?
A lot.
Yeah. And a lot of fist fights don't happen.
Yeah.
You know, you're about to call some guy some name and say you did something to his wife, and you see the gun on his hip. You're like, yeah, maybe it's not worth it. You know, just to piss him off. Like, I was just going to piss him off, but now pissing off doesn't sound like a good idea. Same idea. Good fences make good neighbors, right?
Well, the Capitol definitely believes that.
Yeah. Ooh, quality transition. Where do we have that? Oh, we already talked about him. The guy who drove his car to the barricade brought a knife to a gunfight.
Yeah, he brought a knife to a gunfight, and he was shot down when he charged the Capitol Police with a knife.
Well, that's almost what happens. That's what happens almost every time when you bring a knife to a gunfight.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It almost sounds like suicide by cop. Like he knew there was no way he was getting in there.
Yeah, I think it was. I really do believe that that's the classification I give it: suicide by cop. You know,
he couldn't
lost his job for whatever reason, mentally unstable, and that's an issue that never gets brought up when we always go straight to gun control, but never mental issues.
Yeah, well, not even mental issues, but suicide by cop. Is yeah. I want to die, but I can't do it myself. I don't know how to describe it, but we all have this preservation thing, this instinct to survive. And, you know, I mean, it's amazing that anyone can manage to actually kill themselves, especially the people that sorry about the laugh. Ray sent us a message about he must not have got a stimulus check.
He's never going to get it if he didn't.
But yeah, exactly. Like this dude might have just been trying to kill himself, but just couldn't do it himself, and needed to create a situation where someone else would do it for him.
But I think once people really start digging into these situations with the guns and this kind of stuff, it doesn't come down to the gun, in my opinion. It comes down to mental health.
Oh, let's go down that gun rabbit hole for a second, and then we can attack mental health again. Every time someone's shot by a civilian, unless it's a white guy, it was the gun that killed someone, right?
Yep.
Not the person that pulled the trigger. But when it's a white guy, it was white supremacy.
Uh-huh.
And if it was a cop, it was the system that killed him. So what is it? Is it the cop or the gun that killed you? We need to know this before we pass the legislation. We're trying to pass legislation on both.
Right. Yeah, that's a great point, you know, because I don't know where I was going to go.
Well, if you're going to blame the cop, then you're saying you're taking the individual accountable for their own actions, no matter what's going on, right?
And that's going on right now with the Chauvin case.
Thank you for that circle back. I got to get that damn thing loaded up.
Oh, next time I go to the bathroom, load it up. Oh, yeah. I mean, the guy in Colorado was on the FBI list. His near relatives that actually warned people about him, you know, and they warned him not to do anything because he was a Muslim and it would look bad for the whole community. I remember
I don't like this idea of I don't like the idea of protecting, like, oh, don't because they're.
No, but you know what I'm saying.
I know exactly what you mean, but it'll make you look bad if you do this. But
yeah, but let's move on to Chauvin. Because honestly, I don't. We don't spend a whole lot of time on this because I don't really care about the topic that much.
Well, actually, before we get into Chauvin, or Chauvin, I don't know how you pronounce it.
I don't either.
Let's get into your conspiracy theory, your numerology thing.
All right.
It is episode 33, and by the way,
play your clip.
Oh, I had forgotten about that. But I was gonna say, by the way, if we were going to give these guys money to plug our show, it would be this week, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that would have been a good week to do it. I don't have any money extra right now.
No, and I found out $50 will not do it.
No, you got to go in the $100 range. Yeah.
Yeah.
Above $50, you can get your plug-in.
Because I was like, if we were gonna get a plug by these guys, the 33rd episode
is
the time to do it, right?
And I'll give them a plug right now. It's a No Agenda show we're talking about. You hear us reference it all the time. It's John C. DeWork and Adam Curry from MTV fame. I listen to their show pretty regularly. It's a long show. It's like 3 hours long each episode, and I space it out throughout the week to listen to it. It's actually, since Rush Limbaugh has passed away, it's become my first podcast I listen to whenever they publish a new episode. So,
I listen to maybe 40 minutes of each episode and fall asleep, and then don't put it back on.
Okay.
And it sucks because, like, yeah, I gotta fast forward through a lot of the BS because it's a morning show thing.
Yeah, well, the second half of the show is not like that, but that's okay.
I know, but like, I never even think about it. I put it on, I listen to it, and they start their warm up or whatever for the show, and then all of a sudden they start doing their, people gave us money, and they do like, oh, you got de-douched. Like,
yeah, because that's how they keep the show going, is because they don't have any advertisers. So,
no, directly funded, which is cool.
And Adam Curry especially doesn't have any other source of income other than the people that donate to the show. So,
yes, well, we don't have anyone who even listens, let alone donates.
Yep.
We did have one
jingle real quick.
We did get one donation once.
Yeah, for beer.
Yeah, well, to make sure we can keep the show going.
It was money well spent.
On beer.
We drank it.
We did, and we made like 2 and an hour episodes out of it. Anyway, tell me why. Tell me what's up with this.
Jingle?
Oh shit! Oh geez, that's right. This. Oh.
All right, that's good enough.
Oh Jesus. It stops on its own, and I keep hitting the button to stop it, but then it starts it again.
Yeah, it's a real short clip. I found it on YouTube. That jingle came from No Agenda Show, and somebody put it on YouTube. Very few of the No Agenda Show clips you can find because too many people were stealing them and not giving them credit for them. So I definitely want to give them credit for that, even with our 0 listeners that we have. So.
And just in case you're worried about us getting in trouble because they apparently they're chasing after people using it.
No, they're not.
Oh, well, we're doing a fair use thing, and we're actually discussing that.
Yeah, and we're giving them credit for it, so.
And we're not making any money on this, so it's not like we're stealing income because of it.
Yeah. So basically, the whole number 33 thing that I learned about, I'm going to read this real quick, is from the No Agenda Show. There's a theory that number 33 inserted in the news stories as a code. Not sure what the code means, though. And in some context, it seems to mean that the rest of the story is bogative, or maybe it means mission accomplished, or it's just a flag to alert people in the know to take heed. So, and it's really weird. And we've had this conversation before on season 1 that, and it happens to me all the time still. I just don't bring it up as much anymore. The 33 pops up all the time. And this is not just a magical number for the No Agenda Show. When I was researching this is a big Mason number too. Freemasons, this is their number 1 number that they look at is the 33. Is
that why Larry Bird was so good at basketball?
Probably.
That was his
not
jersey.
Not that he had any talent or anything. He just wore the number 33.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Wasn't one of the greatest basketball players of all time.
But I mean, and a lot of people will donate to No Agenda Show when their odometer gets to their trip odometer gets to 333, or they start seeing a lot of threes along the way. It happens all the time to me. I don't bring it up anymore because you kind of poo-pooed it in the beginning. But
I'm not into a lot of that stuff. Now, don't get me wrong.
I'm not either, but 33 seems to like pop up more than any number I know. So,
well, I disagree with you on a lot of stuff, and it's actually something I was going to bring up today that you and I disagree on. But we'll see if it comes up, and it's.
But we had to bring up the numerology thing today because we are on our 33rd episode of season 2.
Yeah, I think I might be able to find a couple of bucks. But I got to pay you for storage anyway for our show. We'll see what I can do. I think I might be able to find this couple of bucks. I did get my tax refund. I'm doing a lot with it though in terms of debt payment and I'm starting to build all the stuff. My flower planters.
Yeah,
they're not flowers. They're actually going to be all vegetables and food.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm planting some more fruit trees. Apparently, I live in the perfect climate for cherry trees.
Huh.
Yeah, who knew? Check this out. Way off topic. I am actually seriously considering starting a business here, going LLC, like full-on business, selling stuff to rich, middle-aged white women, like artisanal applesauces.
Oh, you'll make a killing on that.
Well, grow your own apples and put all these weird flavors in them. Sell them these little tiny jars, half the size of a regular applesauce jar for $9 a jar, but make them all out of different flavor, like different kinds of apples. To go, here's a yellow delicious, here's a red delicious.
And most people don't know the difference between the different apples either. So.
Well, I do, but I love apples. I've always loved apples. I got a feeling up here, typically we do, because this is an apple area. Like, this is where they grow naturally. Which is funny, because I bought a yellow delicious. Oh, the cat's locked in here. He's going to scream. I bought a yellow delicious apple tree because it's a universal pollinator. It'll pollinate all apple trees. So when I plant my other trees, they'll all pollinate each other, and they'll be able to grow apples. I found out that a lot of different wild apple trees are universal pollinators too. And there are crab apple trees everywhere. Everywhere around here. And don't get me, crab apples are disgusting. But if the crab apple tree is what pollinates your red delicious tree, you still get red delicious apples. It's the seeds that'll be different, what you get out of the seed.
Huh. Interesting.
So it's like don't get me wrong, I love yellow delicious. That's actually my favorite apple. But I bought this tree specifically because they're supposed to pollinate all these apple trees. And I found out the wild apple trees will do it anyway because they have all the different DNA or RNA or whatever in them already. I thought that was interesting and kind of neat knowing that there's probably a tree growing in my backyard that's going to make sure I grow apples anyway,
There you go. Yeah, that's great.
I mean, I get crab apples, but have you ever bitten into a crab apple?
No, I don't think I have.
You know what they are?
No.
Oh, they're like twice the size of a cherry, and they're super bitter. But it is
tiny, okay.
It's typically an apple. It's technically an apple.
Okay. So we want to
It's a wild culmination of like all the apple trees in the area, basically. I want to talk about this helicopter.
You don't want to talk about Chauvin?
Oh, sure. Where are we going with that?
Well, his trial's going right now. The police officer that supposedly killed Floyd George.
Yeah, and the key witness that the state had, the guy riding shotgun, decided to plead the fifth.
Of course.
That does not help the state's argument, does it?
No.
That basically says I'm doing something illegal because the everyone says you have a right to remain silent, but technically you don't. You have a right against self-incrimination.
Yeah, and when you plead the fifth, that
means I did something I wasn't
supposed to. Everywhere.
It's saying I did something I wasn't supposed to, and I don't have to tell you I did it.
Yeah.
This is technically what it means.
And they're doing this trial in the state that happened in. I don't know how they're finding a fair and unbalanced jury for this thing.
Oh, well, yeah,
partial.
Yeah, but I mean, the same argument for how many cases? I mean, all the way back to OJ. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's stuff that just goes public. There's nothing you can do about it. And actually, this is the one juror who said he never heard about this crap. I was like, bullshit.
Right.
He should have been excused.
Yeah. I mean, it'll be interesting to see how it plays out in the long run. You know, everybody wants the cop to go down, but we'll see if the state can prove its case enough to convict them.
Well, I mean, the girlfriend said that they used to buy drugs from the guy that just said he's going to plead the fifth.
Yeah.
And even worse is
George Floyd was not a great guy. You know, he wasn't like the most upstanding citizen. He didn't deserve to die the way he died.
Thank you. It always drives me nuts when people say, like, "Oh, he was a scumbag." It's like he might have been a scumbag. Doesn't mean he deserved to die.
No, nobody deserves to die like that. No, I agree.
And it was a shitty situation. And from what I've heard recently, is when he said he wants mommy. It wasn't him actually begging for his mother. Apparently, that's what he called his girlfriend.
Okay.
And that's even sadder because that makes it sound like it was love, and it was, you know, like I want to say, you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Like every movie, he's always telling my wife I love her, you know?
Yeah.
And it is a terrible situation, but I think we're targeting the wrong person. And you can say Chauvin or whatever,
however you pronounce it,
is the guy who carried it out, but that was what he was trained to do. And you can say the training was wrong. That's fine. Let's blame the people that set the training up, and not the person that was told this is the way you do it to not get in trouble. And hey, the people that set this up are the people that were elected into office.
Right.
This is obvious scapegoating to say that this guy. You told them that this was less than lethal force, just like pepper spray and a taser, right?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It just seems like at a certain point that the people that are putting out the training need to take responsibility too, and not just people carrying it out.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Because you got to hold the people doing the training more accountable than the actual people, like, applying it in the field. Because if the training sucks, then the people's knowledge is going to suck in the long run.
Or if the training is good, but it's training something bad.
We went through this kind of thing in the Navy, you know. If there's a failure in the system, it usually always came back to how the people were trained.
Yeah, it almost always came down to who's in charge of training.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this guy effed up. It's like, oh, well, who trained him to do it?
I mean, look at all the incidents that's happened in the Navy since you and I got out with the ships in Japan and everywhere, you know. Every investigation always led to a failure in the training program. Every single one.
Speaking of the Navy, you see they just fished out a helicopter from the deepest anything's ever been pulled out of the ocean?
Yes, I did see that.
That was a good transition, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Shit, I should have written the depth here. I got to click on the link now. It's a record depth. North Pacific Ocean, Nav Seas Supervisor of Salvage and Diving, SupSalv.
Yeah.
Recovered a downed MH-60S helicopter from a depth of, holy crap, 19,075 feet.
Yeah.
Off the coast of Okinawa.
And
that's an insane depth.
The deep sea, the remote operated vehicle they did it with, is only allowed to operate at 20,000 feet.
Yes, exactly. They only had like another 900 feet before the thing was going to be crushed by the pressure.
Even. It was like, you're 925 feet. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Before it was crushed by the pressure of the ocean on top of it. That's it. That's nuts. Now, will we showing off our new tech to tell the world F you? Or did we have something to get back that we didn't want someone else to get?
No, I think, I don't know, MH-60, I mean, it's not like a spy thing or any weird technology in there. I think we were just testing out our abilities and showing off to the world, truthfully. That's my opinion.
What does that do for us? Oh, with our name getting crapped on a lot. I guess maybe. But I was thinking, what does it do us to show the world what we can do? It's better to be able to do this stuff in silence, never tell anyone it happened, and not let them know we can go deeper than they can. So they don't know we can pull up their submarine. You know what I mean? Just here's my I don't know. I saw that. I thought it was interesting. Thought I'd bring it up.
Yeah.
You see Dr. Jill trying to speak Spanish.
Or Joe Biden, neither one of them.
Is Ray still here? Or is he disappeared? I know he's got the mute. Yeah. His Spanish is obviously way better than mine.
Yeah, he was born in El Salvador.
Yes. I believe what she was trying to say was "si se puede," which means yes, we can. Where the hell is my link for this? Oh, that sucks.
Right after the Navy.
Oh
no, that's me. Yeah, we got the two combined. You've got Butcher Spanish, and I got Biden's dog Major included in there.
Yeah, that's even weirder. That's the wrong order.
There we go.
Yeah, well, I didn't
think she was the only one that tried to butcher Spanish. I thought Joe Biden butchered some Spanish too.
Possibly. Hold on. I think I figured out what my problem is. I know I got this damn. Yeah, I got an audio clip and not a video clip. That's why.
We'll play the audio.
So say it with me.
Si se puede.
Yeah.
Could you hear that?
Barely.
Sorry. Yeah, like I said, my Spanish isn't particularly excellent.
I can order a couple of beers and find the bathroom.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, I mean, I can negotiate with a prostitute.
We've got a rare Spanish video clip of Ray. El guapo.
Mi español es muy malo y muy poquito.
Dos cervezas, por favor.
¿Dónde está el baño?
I was laughing my ass off for a second, like what she was trying to say for a second, and it took me a while to understand what she was saying. But yeah, she chopped that thing up. She should have just put Despacito that Joe Biden did.
It's funny because, like I said, my Spanish isn't very good, but it's enough that I can do what I need to do in a foreign nation. I found out that 6 years of high school Spanish that were not really paid attention to, and no one really cared, and then several years off is enough to get around on this planet.
Yeah.
With our comprehensive knowledge of English.
Right.
Because if they don't speak English, my limited knowledge of Spanish is enough to get by.
Yeah.
Anywhere on the planet I've been, and I have been around this planet.
A couple of times.
I've only gone around it once, but I've been out several times.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, I've circumnavigated the globe. How cool is that?
Hey, did they ever free up that boat stuck in the Suez Canal?
Yeah, they
did. We have a topic on that.
I was actually wondering if he was looking at the list there for a second.
No, because he refuses to go click on the link and look at it.
You guys never send me the link.
We send it to you every single time.
In Facebook Messenger. All you gotta do is click on it.
All right, when you send a message, then we start typing throughout the week, and like that thing gets all the way on top. Like, man.
All right, I'm gonna fix this. I'm gonna post that link every single day from now on.
Well, what I do is I open it and then I just don't close it.
Yeah, but he's using his phone. He's not using.
That's very true. He doesn't have a laptop to come back to. Yeah,
I do the same thing. I click link open on the beginning of the week.
Leave it open.
Leave it open. Yeah.
It's a good point.
I will do that for you, Ray. I want you to be more of a participant in the show. So if the link is in front of you, I'm hoping you'll actually put something in the link throughout the week.
You don't have this.
Okay, should we make another chat room separate so they don't get mixed up?
You want another group just for the link?
I thought that's what this was supposed to be.
I
thought Three Drunken Sailors was this.
He wants another group just for the link.
Just for the link. Like, hey, this is a link for next week. Like, okay, cool.
Jeffrey does it every week. It shows up. You know?
I tried to, and by the way, I do apologize that I completely lined to cut you that time you made a Google Doc. I didn't even notice it. I saw it like the next day because I went looking for it. I was like, oh, there it is. But I'm sending it to I was about to say your email address to one of you. I have 2 email addresses for you.
But he doesn't check his email, so it doesn't matter.
No, my Google emails, like they bury that thing somewhere. Like
you got 2 Google emails.
Just send it to the group chat, and I'm gonna cut and paste it and keep putting it back in the group chat for him every day. So I'll do that.
No, because throughout the day we keep posting to each other like, hey, you see this?
And I know Jeffrey and I both use the Google chat or the Facebook chat for the same thing. We post articles there, and then later on in the day, we go and add them to the document.
Exactly. He's like, oh, this is neat. I found it on my phone. I sent it to the group.
There's no way for me. I haven't figured out a way to do it on my phone directly yet.
You can. Well, do you have
an iPhone? A lot more
complicated. I have an Android. It's wicked easy for me.
Yeah, but I think if I download a Google Docs to my phone, I could probably do it that way too. But I found for me, it's just easier to do the way I do it.
Yeah.
You know?
I can do it straight from my phone too, but it is easier as you just send it to the group. So one, you guys get a heads up.
Yeah.
And I sit down at the computer and I just go click and drop it in the
in
the Google Doc. You know? Yeah, I gotta. Ray, when you do come check this out, man, you're gonna be pretty excited about it. Actually,
it's pretty comprehensive these days.
It's like, holy crap! It's like they're actually putting effort into this shit. Now it never works out that way. He's disappearing again.
Keep on chatting. Ray's got video already. Just do another topic.
Telling you, we need to move his office to the bathroom. So
just sit there like the woman that he is.
Once in a while, we can hear the flushing going on.
You see Biden's dog got in trouble again?
I know, like, dude, like, what the hell?
I thought they moved him out of they moved the dogs out of the White House after the last one.
I guess they did, but
apparently something happened at the White House.
Well, you know, this administration say one thing, does another.
Well, I don't know about everywhere else, but I know in Virginia, man, if a dog bites 2 people, that dog gets put down.
That is
it's the president's dog.
Well, he's about to love now.
I mean, they're saying the dog is older, and the younger dog doesn't know how to deal with strangers. So maybe they need to move that dog back to Delaware and leave him there. I think life was a lot simpler with a president that doesn't have pets in there. I think life was a lot simpler with a president that doesn't have pets in there.
Not necessarily. I honestly don't give a crap one way or the other.
Well, I mean, the media is making a big deal about pets in the White House, but in the end, does it really matter?
Oh, I'll tell you, I guess Trump didn't have pets, right?
No.
Well, hey, let me put it this way. Trump's been a very busy man for a very long time, hasn't he?
Yep.
Doesn't really have time that a pet needs for affection and attention. So he didn't get one because it would be inappropriate.
But does Joe Biden have time for pets?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to. You think the president of the United States has a couple hours a day to play with their dog?
And break their leg?
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, you got family and everything, but I don't know. I guess at least he's not sniffing the dogs, I guess.
That we know of.
So apparently we got the ship on the Suez.
Yes, we did. The Egyptians did.
Yeah, that just took them, how long?
6 days.
There's only 6 days since it got stuck? That they got it out?
It was 6 days, and they're moving like 300 ships through a day through the Suez Canal.
What does it cost to go through that thing?
Thousands of dollars.
I have no idea. For all I know, it's millions. I have no idea.
It's probably $50,000 to go through there with a cargo ship. I don't know if it's a guess.
That one's not a lock system, is it?
Yes, it is. There's a lake in the middle that you had to stay in while they adjust the water levels and stuff. Yeah, it's locked.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's got to cost more than a couple thousand, than thousands of dollars. I mean, just to operate the pumps to move that much water, it's got to be tens of thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
And not to mention that Egypt obviously wants to make money on this, obviously, or else they wouldn't have built the dang thing, right?
Yeah, and it cuts off like a month worth of transit time for cargo ships to go rather than going around the coast of Africa to get to where they want to go. You know, it saves a ton of time and fuel to go through the Suez Canal.
Yeah, I believe they called it the Cape of Good Hope. Southern tip of Florida was Africa. Was
Africa,
that?
Yeah.
Because once you got around that, you were halfway to the.
And you're also dealing with a lot of bad weather when you're going around the coast of Africa too, because it's notorious for storms down there.
Interesting you bring that up. Is the wife brought up the other day how it's so windy here, and I was like, "What do you mean?" She goes, "It's always windy everywhere we go in Massachusetts."
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I guess so. She goes, "No, it was never windy in Virginia." She's like, "We would have like a windy day or a gust. But like, anytime you walk out in that backyard and look up in the trees, these pine trees are swinging 15 feet either direction in the wind." I was like, I never even realized that.
Yeah, well, you grew up there, so you don't pay attention to it.
But I didn't notice the wind being gone in Virginia either.
It's been windy here for the last few days.
Yeah, it has. Too windy for me to go sailing in April.
Yeah.
Did you just say too windy to go sailing?
Yes. There's been small craft advisories in effect. And I've got certain criteria for me taking the boat out. And if it affects my drinking, then the boat stays at the dock.
So you're not a hardcore sailor. You are, I like to go out on a boat and drink beer kind of guy.
Kind of, sort of.
Yeah, I remember the wife came out there once and she got nailed in the face with a boom.
Oh, no.
You remember that, don't you?
Yeah.
Oh, it was even worse. This. You're like, all right, we're turning. And I turned around and I yelled, "Coming about." And she looked at me and she goes, "What?" You got nailed in the face with a boom. And I was like, oh, I should have yelled duck.
Yep.
Oh, it's just how it goes sometimes. Oh, and you know that thing hurt.
Oh, yeah, it definitely hurts. Yeah.
That is a big, giant, heavy piece of wood.
Yeah. So they've started an investigation about how the cargo ship got stuck now, because there's going to be insurance claims. There's going to be lawsuits.
Can you imagine that insurance payout?
Well, most insurance claims don't pay out for, delays in shipping and stuff like that. But they think they're going to get some payouts now because of how it happened. And so that's going to lay the fault on probably the harbor pilot and Egypt itself, because I guarantee there was a harbor pilot on that cargo ship when everything went down, because you don't transit the Suez Canal without somebody with a ton of local knowledge on board. You don't do that anywhere. Anywhere you go where there's restricted maneuvering, somebody with local knowledge comes on board a ship.
They know what the sandbar,
the actual captain.
Yeah, they know what the sandbar is that moved last week in the shifting tide. And
yeah, exactly.
No, exactly. Like, I mean, like I said, we were all three in the Navy, and when you pull into port, it was never like some weird American system that pulled you into port. It was not even like a Greek system. It was the Greek people that lived there.
Yeah,
pulled you into port.
Yeah.
Well, I say pulled you into port. I'm referring to obviously an aircraft carrier.
Right.
And actually, Greece wouldn't allow us to dock.
No, so you had Liberty boats and stuff.
Huh?
You had Liberty boats.
Yeah, exactly. They wouldn't allow a nuclear ship to dock. And I get that. The Liberty boats sucked so much, didn't they?
Oh yeah, because you took forever to get to and from and off and on and stuff.
I was a fireman in an E3 on a carrier with a Liberty boat system, and you'd show up to the Liberty boats to get back to the ship an hour before your Liberty ran out.
Yeah,
and you'd wait in line for an hour and a half, and you go, "Oh my God, I'm late." And you know what? And there you go. What's apply this to the culture in the United States? The culture that says like, well, it wasn't my fault, therefore it's someone else's fault. The Navy didn't give a shit. If you weren't there when you're supposed to be there, you were UA.
yeah. And usually there was alcohol involved at that point in time.
Oh, if you had a single beer, it was an alcohol-involved incident. And that made it that essentially was making it a hate crime, wasn't it?
Nowadays it would be, yeah.
Well, in terms of discipline. It's like, yes, I had a glass of wine with my fish dinner. There was a car accident. 19 people were murdered. And there was a 3-hour wait in the Liberty boat. This isn't my fault. It's like, we don't care. You had wine and you were late. 30 days. 30 half pay. Oh, half pay times 2. What was it?
30 and restriction, extra duty. And half pay times 2, maybe a reduction in rate.
Yeah. There you go. There you go. 30, half pay times 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, 30 days extra duty, 30 days restriction, can't leave the ship. You only get paid half time as much as you're supposed to get paid for 2 months.
Yeah.
And you might even be busted down to a lower pay grade.
All those happened to me.
Yeah. Well, you probably deserved it.
Probably.
You are the asshole reason why I had to have a Liberty Buddy.
Yeah, but, well, this happened before that. But yeah, Sean and I created the Sober Liberty Buddy system in the Navy.
I hope my Navy buddies do not watch this because they're going to hate you.
Well, you probably shouldn't say F you to the command master chief. It's never a good idea, no matter whether you're sober or drunk.
It's funny. My last ship, my CMC was an acting CMC. After I think he died, but he was an HTCM, which I know I just shouted a whole bunch of letters to a bunch of people that don't know what that means.
Tech, senior chief,
master chief.
Master Chief.
All the way up as high as you can get enlisted.
Yeah.
He was a good guy, Harville. He was hilarious. But he was a dickhead just like me. Because just like me, his job was actually it's funny. Just like me, his job was to make sure shit worked. He didn't care how much it pissed people off, just make sure it worked. They offered him CMC, and he said, no, I want to keep my rate.
Yeah.
To anyone who doesn't know what that means, anyone who might be listening, to become a CMC Command Master Chief,
you give up your rate.
You no longer. Well, yeah, they don't know what rate means. You're no longer the job you signed up for that you've been doing. You are now the liaison between the captain and the enlisted personnel on the ship. And he didn't want to do that because he didn't want to not be an HT, but then he got, command or CMC because someone died or whatever. And then he became a CMC. I don't know, but he was hilarious, man. He made jokes that were funny, and I went to him for advice all the time.
Okay, cool.
I remember going up there because we ran out of argon on the ship for welding. It acted as a weld shield to make sure there's no oxygen on our welds.
Yeah.
Because oxygen at that much heat, it's going to rust instantly, basically. And the weld won't hold. I went up and talked to him. And he goes, all right, I might know a secret. And I was like, what? He goes, Navy doesn't have weather guessers anymore. And I looked at him and was like, yeah, and they don't have boiler techs either. And he goes, yeah, but the budget for helium for weather balloons is still on the ship. And I was like, what? I was like, oh my God, I can use helium. Well, I ran up and I stole all this helium gas. I was just so excited because he's like, I know there might be some gas hidden that you could use. The shield gas has to be an inert gas. There's 6 noble gases, but it makes sure that there's literally no reaction that can happen in it. So I don't have to worry about oxygen setting in. I don't have to worry about any of that. Just my weld happens.
Okay.
Actually, helium is wicked expensive. That's why people don't typically weld with helium.
No, it's super expensive.
Yeah, it's usually only used for specific aluminum welds. But he's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure we got some helium around here. I was like, holy crap, we got helium. Yeah. Anyway, I know I got way off topic.
That's fine. So, where do you want to go next?
How is this?
You talk about Pete Buttigieg? Yeah, we did.
No, we did not. We talked about it pre-show.
No, see, this is what I want to talk about the pre-show because we forget what we talk about.
That's actually the same thing I say every time.
Definitely down on many topics on pre-show because of that exact reason.
Yeah, it was like, no, we need to stop talking now.
Yeah, he did say that several times.
This is the part that's going to be fun.
All right.
Yeah, booty gig, booty judge. What I don't know what his name is. The openly gay guy that ran for president on the Democrat ticket. Right?
Yeah, Pete Buttigieg.
Yeah, I thought it was booty judge.
Yeah, whatever.
Budget judging booties.
Because to step aside so Joe Biden can win. You know that.
He was never going to win anything. Pete Buttigieg didn't have that much popularity.
There could be a nuisance like Joe Biden. I mean, a nuisance like what's the other guy? He's always in the way.
He got out of the way, so I'm sure he was promised a cabinet position to drop out of the race, like a lot of people were.
Yeah, like Bernie Sanders.
Oh, yeah, and what's his cabinet position?
Yeah, I was going to say, where's he in the cabinet? No, they got rid of Bernie by saying he's a freaking socialist.
Well, he is.
No, but they draw voters in with Bernie, and then they dump him aside by saying he's exactly what drew you in by.
Yeah.
No,
but the interesting Pete Buttigieg made a big deal. He's the transportation secretary, and his idea of getting around is taking his bicycle out of the back of an SUV and riding it around D.C. with a couple of security vans following behind you.
With a photo op to show that he's riding his bicycle to be eco-friendly with 6 SUVs behind him.
Yeah. I mean, not just, I think it's a stupid photo op. I don't think a lot of people are going to buy it. It's also a security risk, in my opinion, that the transportation secretary is riding around on a bicycle. And he's the transportation secretary. He should be working on actual transportation issues, not a bicycle. That's my opinion.
I'm getting ready to strap an engine on a bicycle.
6 SUVs for protection for the transportation. How high is that thing in like their office? Honestly,
he's a cabinet. He's got a cabinet level position.
Is it that high, that top secret, like secret stuff that he had to deal with?
Yeah. Are we worried about him being assassinated?
Yes.
Really? Because nobody else can do that job?
No. He's a gay mayor from Indiana. Nobody else can do that job.
So we need like 6 fucking SUV full of fucking Secret Service for the fucking.
They're not Secret Service.
What the fuck are they? Private security?
You dropped the F-bomb like a bastard, dude.
He's drinking again. Ray's back on the beer now. He is, I guarantee, I do not believe that every cabinet level gets Secret Service. I think it's the president, the vice president, and then each job has like its own, it's not private security, they're still government employees, but they're.
You don't need like 6 SUVs with you full of fucking, agents.
But there's some kind of security force for each cabinet level position, and that's who are in the SUVs.
I know, but like you only probably need one, like one guy to bodyguard him. That's it.
Yeah.
Like get a Prius. Like, hey, let's go on our Prius. Okay, let's go. There we go. Nobody bats an eye about the transportation guy. Like, oh, you didn't fix my road. I got so many potholes. I'm gonna kill you. It's fucking ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. It's
Government.
government.
Government is ridiculous, dude.
Yeah. Government waste. It's all about waste.
Government is responsible for far more deaths than anything else you can mention.
Yeah.
It's insane, man. And we just, especially the Democrats, but I'm not going to take it away from the Republicans. They're almost just as bad. But the Republicans have no balls. Rely on the government to take authority for some reason. And it drives me nuts. The Republicans haven't done anything in 5 years.
Yeah.
That's not true. They put a couple of Supreme Court justices in place, I guess.
3.
Hey, I'm going to step out and talk my pipe.
I will take care of other issues too. So.
All right. Yeah, I already did.
I did. I just did too.
Yeah.
All right. Intermission is over. Back to the game.
As much as people don't want to say, but the Republicans always high road. And I know the Democrats say they always want to say they do, but more than once they've said when they go low, we kick them. Right?
Uh-huh.
That's not taking the high road. That's literally kicking the person that's having trouble.
Okay. What do you mean?
But the Republicans,
what do you mean by that?
But Republicans taking the quote high road has done nothing but allow like schools to like indoctrinate their kids and teach them that teach them that being white is wrong. Thinking that you should be allowed to keep what you earn is wrong. The family values are wrong, you know? And they're being taught this in school.
And I think that's why a lot of Republicans have embraced homeschooling in the long run.
I'm a huge fan of homeschooling, and it's not because I'm quote Republican.
Why are you?
I just think a lot of Republicans aren't as stupid as the party is.
Okay.
Like, how's that?
Yeah, that's good.
Because I think any party subscription's silly, but I get a lot of people do it, like you guys do. It just seems silly to me because, like, how can you sign up to a party when I don't know? You have to have your own ideas.
You've signed up to a party.
I have several times, and I haven't liked it any time. Well, I'm actually independent right now.
Oh, okay.
Well, I've called myself Little L Libertarian for a long time. Not part of the party, but I believe in the general idea. The libertarians piss me off so much, dude. All they do is argue with each other about who hates government more. I was like, no, are you guys trying to be libertarians or freaking anarchists? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's always what they're doing. That's why they put up freaking dumbasses like what's his nuts that ran for president, you know?
Yeah.
Gary Weld and Joan, what's her name?
I know who you're talking about. I don't remember her.
That was last time.
Yeah.
At least you knew the other guy's name that ran for president before her on the Libertarian ticket. You didn't even know her name.
Yeah.
She drives me nuts. But it's just taking the high road. That these Republicans never do anything. They just let it happen. And at least Georgia did something.
What did they do?
Well, Delta got woke because Georgia decided to pass some laws on voting, how you vote. And actually, I've got
a lot of Republican states are in the process of doing that.
Well, the issue is that this is what's happening while the election went down, but it was played upon because of the way the laws were, the time frames of the laws.
Well, a lot of governors use COVID-19 as a way to loosen up voting laws.
That's exactly what I mean. Is they were using a lot of weird things to be able to slip stuff in. And now they're saying, well, now we're not all dying of COVID in 4 years. We can have a regular election. And all of a sudden, that's racist. I'd like to bring up how Whew, sorry, I got excited there. How is proving who you are racist?
Because the common argument is that people don't have IDs or way to prove themselves are minorities.
Wait one moment here. Before Ray hits unmute, Brian, would you consider Ray a minority in this country?
No.
Really?
There's more Hispanics than there are whites.
Yeah, but they're not here legally.
But I think it's a BS argument because when it comes right down to it, you have to have an ID to apply for social services.
By the way, Ray, I hope you know that Brian doesn't think you're a minority in this country. Well, I'm definitely not picking on you, but it's obvious English is not your first language. You got that thick El Salvadorian accent.
We're a minority until Joe Biden took over. So after that, we're just a majority now.
Okay.
We flooded the border, so we're a majority.
Yeah, you're working on it. Yeah, definitely.
I think Green Day did a song about this back in the day called "I Want to Be a Minority."
Well, Jeffrey and I are going to be minorities very soon. So,
how so?
White males.
I'm not white.
Oh, yeah, what are you?
I'm American Indian. I'm sorry, Native or Indigenous or Abenaki or
you're
Aborigine.
Going the Elizabeth Warren route, huh?
I have to be more Native than she does, right? Than she is, right?
So, I mean,
this is the fact that you can't see through my skin. And I know if you're watching this on my YouTube, I know it looks like I'm very white, but like I have all these lights on me. I actually have very tan skin. Now, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Ray is way darker than me. We got a spectrum here.
Yeah, tell that to the guy who got what is a blonde-headed kid and a blue-eyed girl.
Yeah, exactly. So back to the Georgia voting laws.
Oh, sorry.
Hey, so the Major League Baseball decided not to do the Major League Baseball in Georgia no more.
Oh, yeah, but at the same time, they decided to move the All-Star game out. They signed a contract with the communist country of China to, like...
Let me ask you this. Where are they going to go play at?
They'll find a place.
Florida.
State is locked down.
They can go to Florida. They won't, though. They're going to go to a Democrat state to bump up Democrat numbers.
Democrats won't let anyone go or watch the game or the game to happen, though.
But I don't remember what my topic was. No,
I do.
Okay, go.
So this whole voting thing that the MLB's pulling the All-Star game because it was racist to do it, right?
Yeah, but meanwhile they get big money from China to broadcast their games in China.
Not even that. The name of their baseball team is the Braves, which is supposed to be a warrior from an American Indian tribe.
They're going to get rid of that name. That name's going bye-bye.
It's going to go bye-bye, just like the Redskins and the Chiefs and everyone else is going to go.
2 years later, we still do not have a name for the Redskins.
Well, the problem is you're saying that it's racist, so we're leaving. We're not doing this. The MLB said we're not doing this because it's racist, but they've allowed the Braves to remain the whole time. Bullshit. They're worried about racism. They're pissed off because they don't look good, so they have to fucking what do they call it out there? Bat signal or their virtue signal. Quick to the virtue signal.
And New York State actually has more restrictive voting laws than Georgia will have with the new law.
Yes, actually, I got a couple of fact checks here on this. I'm not going to go through them too much, but CNN did one. And actually, I have one from the Daily Caller too. And I don't usually use the Daily Caller. And I don't know why, but I always think they're right wing, but they're really not.
They're not.
Daily Wires, the right leaning one,
the more right wing one,
yeah. But I always think Daily. I hear Daily, I just automatically. But Daily Caller also did a myths and facts on this. But even CNN said this is good. This is going to actually expand voters' rights. It's going to make sure everyone gets to vote. Yeah. People were making a big deal saying that, like, oh, you can't give people water when they're waiting in line. It's like, actually, that's just because it falls under. You're not allowed to give people gifts.
Yeah.
When they're waiting in line to vote.
And then Biden was coming out saying that they're not going to be able to vote past 5 o'clock. That was for early voting. And it was going to be, you can do a Saturday or a Sunday. You didn't have to do both kind of thing, you know. It was just standardizing the rules.
Actually, the early voting laws, I actually gave these fact checks a really good read. The early voting laws said they must be open until 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. So Biden was pissed because maybe on Saturday, depending on which county you lived in, you might not be able to vote after 5 p.m. on Saturday, 2 weeks before the election.
Yeah, that's dumb.
And he made it sound
like people that want to do early voting will find a way to get in the vote. You know,
he made it sound like it was some kind of racist thing. It's like they're actually expanding. They're making sure there are voter boxes. And he said something about it. Like, oh, they want to limit the amount of voter boxes.
Well, yeah, that's a smart thing. You know, that's voter harvesting.
Not even that.
Jimmy Carter came out 20 years ago saying that was a bad idea. Nobody's bringing that up right now.
Well, let's even go a step back from that. Instead, just say, if we're going to limit how many boxes it's going to be, is yes, we need to know where to get all of these boxes. You can't just put one in your front yard and say, this is a vote box.
Exactly.
And have your one vote in it. Like, people need to know where to go, where to pick them up, when to pick them up. You can't have 100,000 of them in the city. You have to limit them. Yeah.
And now you got actors.
By the way, call me an asshole. This is actually from the CNN fact check.
Nice. And I'll give CNN credit for that, you know. Now we got actors saying they're not going to do productions in Georgia anymore.
Who now? What now?
Actors are going to boycott Georgia because of the new voting restricted laws. But these actors aren't really reading into the laws. They're not like, they're being woke. They're following what people are saying is wrong with the law, and they're sticking with that.
Because they think they're going to get clicks and views by aligning with the popular ideal, but the popular idea isn't actually what the average person thinks. I don't believe the average person believes most of this bullshit. No, I don't.
No, I don't either.
I was just at the bar before I came here.
Oopsies.
No, we were going to go to Poopsies, but we went to the 99 instead, which is also a local thing. Well, it's from the 99, I think, Fenway or whatever street, right next to Fenway Park. There's this restaurant, and now there's like a chain called the 99. Okay. It's a sports bar.
Nice.
I was there with Derek.
Oh, boy.
Had a couple of beers with D. Forgot where I was going with this. Anyway, I drank a bunch before I came here.
That's what I do too. That's why I've been going to the bathroom a lot. Screw you. I don't have the special tools that you have to hold your pee.
Special tools being bladder control?
Pretty much. Anything else on MLB?
Yes. We're going back steps and steps before that. Well, Delta.
Yeah, Airline. Well, that's part of they put their issues in place because of the Georgia voting laws. They're headquartered in Georgia. Coke is headquartered in Georgia. There's a lot of major corporations that headquartered in Georgia. They're trying to
because of the ridiculous tax breaks they give them. Well, because Georgia gives them tax breaks, so you can headquarters your shit here. So all your taxes come through us instead of wherever else.
Yeah,
you get a huge tax break, but we still take some. That's what they say is we're gonna get like a couple huge corporations to like headquarters here. We'll give them a massive tax break, but we're still gonna bring in a ton of money by having 6 or 7 of them.
Yeah,
that's the idea. Actually,
Tyler Perry has a huge production facility in Georgia.
Well, Delta decided to talk a whole bunch of trash about the exact point we were talking about with that Georgia voting. That CNN's actually said. CNN even says like, actually, this is pretty damn good. So did you see what Georgia did to Delta?
They're talking about revoking their tax breaks.
They've already passed the bill. It's a $35 million jet fuel tax break that they got to lose out on.
So do you think that'll cause Delta to move from Georgia?
I don't know. What's it going to cost them to relocate? It's not a little company.
$35 million a year. It's not going to take much.
Won't take long
to recoup their losses by going to a different state.
Or apologize.
Never going to happen.
Well, that isn't that what the left demands when someone steps out of line is apologize? Maybe that's what we need is someone on the other side of the aisle holding someone by their neck and slapping them and say, apologize. Just like they're doing. Then that's exactly what I started the episode with is the Republicans have no fucking balls. They won't do anything. And finally Georgia stepped up and said, here you go, bitches. And now everyone is saying Georgia's a bunch of douche nozzles.
They're not the only state that's doing it. There's all kinds of states that have Republican Congresses. Michigan's trying to pass changes in the voter laws too.
I'm going to make sure to buy peaches this summer.
There you go.
Michigan's doing what now?
They've got a Republican-controlled Congress and a Democrat governor. Michigan is demanding all kinds of investigations into the last election, the Congresses, and they're trying to pass voter changes to the laws too, just like
burp,
Georgia.
Dude. That's a good burp.
Thank you.
Oh, never mind. You reminded me of something else I wanted to bring up, but we'll get to that.
Bourbon?
No, Vermont.
Oh, bring it up. I'm going.
Shit, no, it's all right. That's several minutes away.
All right.
Damn it! Hey, Ray.
What?
You got a decent memory?
Almost.
You think you're gonna remind me to put up a Florida flag before the next episode?
The Florida flag?
I've been meaning to put up for 3 episodes because I've been really actually a big fan of what DeSantis has been doing.
Yeah.
And I happen to have a Florida flag because my wife's from Florida.
You know, he used to be a Navy officer.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Actually, I have a collection of flags.
Cool.
There's only, I think on this show I've done POW, the Gadsden flag, Massachusetts. I think it might be it. Yeah, I got a Florida. Obviously, U.S. Now they were getting more flags. Who are you blowing, Brian?
Reorganizing my Miller Lights.
All right. Hold on. I blew my chance to go smoke my pipe because I wanted to talk to Ray for a minute. I'm gonna go whack my pipe.
All right.
Yeah, but baseball is supposed to be the American pastime.
Yeah.
So,
but also, it's not just that. He's also saying, "Hey, you guys signed this huge deal with Communist China to broadcast games there, and that's not an issue to you. But a voting law in Georgia all of a sudden is." It's like Two-Face, you know.
Jen Psaki was asked about this. Is it Psaki or Pasaki?
Pasaki.
You pronounce the P?
Mm-hmm.
That just sounds weird to me, but all right, I'm gonna try to respect her name. But she was asked about this. Like Philip Wegman from Real Clear News.
All right.
Well, and then, the president had voiced his support for MLB making a decision about the All-Star game in Georgia. I'm wondering, when can we expect a final determination from the president about the United States participating in the Beijing Olympics, given that he said the Chinese president doesn't have a democratic bone in his body?
Well, I think the U.S. Olympic Committee would play a big role in
on Major League Baseball here in the United States.
He actually didn't. I think I don't know if you heard the question and the answer that happened a few minutes ago, where we addressed this, and I answered the question. So, and I give you a little more context, but maybe you weren't paying attention to that part.
So basically, the conversation was. The president's voiced his support for the All-Star game in Georgia. I'm wondering when we can expect a final determination from the president on the U.S. participating in the Beijing Olympics, given that he said the Chinese president doesn't have a democratic bone in his body.
Well, of course not. He's Chinese.
Well, and our president said that.
Yeah.
All right. Psaki says that's for the Olympic Committee to weigh in on.
But meanwhile, back in Georgia, with the president, he can weigh in on anything he feels like weighing in on.
Because, yeah, opinion is opinion versus what you actually have an authority to do.
Right.
But, yeah, by the way, this is a paraphrase, not an actual, what do they call that there? When it's line by line. But, yeah.
Quotations.
Yeah.
Quote.
Yeah, but yeah, he goes, but he weighed in on Major League Baseball. And she said, oh, actually, he didn't. And the journalist says again, oh, actually, he did.
Yeah, because he did it on ESPN.
Yes.
Big interview on ESPN.
Thank you. She's like, no, that didn't happen. He's like, it was on national television. And she goes, nah. And he goes, yeah, no, that's what happened.
Well,
and
apparently she doesn't consider ESPN national television.
And, well, then she said, shut up, I hate you. It's basically what I got out of that.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. And it blew my mind that, like, this is the press secretary, you know?
Yep.
I don't know. I guess I'm the asshole, you know? Dear God, dude, I got another hour's material lined up in front of us, don't we?
Okay, whatever.
We got the DC guy, the Uber driver.
Oh, yeah, we were supposed to bring that up to start the show.
We were?
Yeah, this guy, Uber Eats delivery guy, was just delivering food, and a 13 and a 15-year-old woman, female, carjacked him and killed him. And CNN said it was an accident. But they carjacked him and drove away with him hanging out the car and drove him into another car and then ran him over.
And she was concerned more about her cell phone than anything else.
Yeah, exactly. And she's being recorded at the accident scene, and she's going, I think I left my phone in there. Like that. I'm pretty sure that guy's head isn't on his body.
Yeah, if you watch the video, you can see his body just on the ground.
It's disgusting.
You know, I heard like one of the girls had a prior conviction at the beginning of the year too.
And they're making a big deal. They're not. He refuses to charge them as adults. He said they wouldn't bring him back. Yeah, well, you know what? And charging someone with a hate crime isn't going to bring back the person that was hanged, right?
No, or never.
And call me an asshole. I'm actually taking the governor's side on. I'm sorry, the police chief's side on this one. Not that I actually am. I'm just making that argument.
Yeah.
If I'm an asshole, then so isn't this guy. They killed this guy because they just wanted to joyride. Do you know how much easier it is to steal a car than to carjack someone?
A lot easier.
Well, that was nuts. What did you drop?
What is it? Body snatchers?
I had a beer explode on me and started spraying everywhere.
You called pissing, dude.
Oh, I mentioned Vermont earlier, didn't I?
Hold on. Before you skip to Vermont, the 65-year-old woman was being in New York.
The woman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, did you?
Unfortunately,
Is that the one this video of?
I don't know. There's a video on it.
It's one of an old Asian woman being beaten. I think this is it then. In New York City, and there were two security guards, or whatever, hotel security or whatever, in buildings
Yeah.
that watched it and then just turned around and walked back in their building.
Gotta love living in a Democrat-run city.
Yeah, you can actually. There you go. Let's click on it and see what. Oh, there you go. You holy crap! You looking at the fucking the shit, aren't you? Yeah, Midtown Manhattan. Jeez. Jeez, I can't, for whatever reason, my broad daylight, Midtown Manhattan on Monday. 65-year-old woman was kicked to the ground and stomped on by a man who police say made anti-Asian statements. The very same day, police said that they were investigating after an Asian man was left unconscious during an attack on the subway. Both attacks are being investigated as hate crimes, part of a disturbing trend of attacks against the Asian American community during the coronavirus pandemic. Police say the attack on the woman occurred at about 11:40 a.m. on Monday on the sidewalk outside an apartment building on West 43rd Street. Surveillance video shows an unidentified man violently kick the woman as she falls to the ground before he continues to kick her several more times. Then he goes on and on and on, but there's a video of it, and
yeah, I see the security guard just standing there and just like lock the door, like, oh, we see nothing.
Well, notice how, by the way, they did not mention the ethnicity of the person attacking the woman this time.
Yeah, I know. It doesn't go with their
narrative.
Thank you.
Don't get me wrong. There's plenty of bad white people. If we look at the history of the world, actually, most of the bad people in the history of the world have been white, but there's a lot more white people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, like all nations do. Like any you know how Native American complain about the white people conquer the land? That's everywhere in the world, dude. Everybody conquer each other, dude.
Forever.
Yeah, it's always been like that. So.
Well, all right, you're gonna say the English took over the world, right? But the English were a combination of the Anglos taking over the Saxons, right?
Yeah. So yeah, it's crazy. Like the security guard didn't bother. Like, you know what? I'm not getting in the middle of this. Like it just to show you, dude. Like Democrat-run cities are going to hell, dude.
Check this out. The mayor, Libby Schaaf of Oakland. Okay. Now, when you think Oakland, you typically don't think white people, right?
Nope, not at all. I've been in Oakland.
She is one of the whitest people I've ever seen in my life.
I've done bad things in Oakland.
I believe it. She's one of the whitest people I've ever seen in my life, and she's the mayor of Oakland.
Mm-hmm.
She just set up a program to make sure. Well, I shouldn't say to make sure. So X number of families in the area can get a check for $500 a month. Well, here we go. I'll just read the title. Democrat mayor giving $500 a month to families of color to shrink racial wealth gap. Certain people qualify, then certain people get selected from that randomly. But you are not allowed to be white to participate in this lottery.
What if you Pocahontas? Can she participate?
Just don't get busted. Don't get busted until you're a senator, right?
Yeah.
Well, what are you gonna do to a senator, man? Even on TV shows that tell us AR-15s are assault rifles. Even on TV shows, senators are impossible to take down, right?
Yep.
Oh my God. I still can't believe that she got away with that and nothing happened, and she got reelected after that. Like, I can literally prove I am more Neanderthal than she is Native American. And before you go, oh, that just means you're primitive. I guarantee you are more Neanderthal than she is Native American.
Yeah.
Which is even more ridiculous. Because that just means that they've made it a point to not breed with the indigenous people of North America.
Crazy.
It's unbelievable. Just accidental bloodline mixture should be like 3 times what it is for her. And she made it a big deal. Like, oh, I am 1064th. It's like, you tell me 8 generations ago, someone raped an Indian woman. And that makes it okay for you. You know what I mean?
Well,
sorry,
at least she's your senator. So,
huh?
She's your senator.
I know. Trust me, I know.
Don't remind him of it. Who's the other senator?
You know,
nobody knows that senator.
As much local politics as I talk about on here, I was actually tempted to bring up like local, like my hometown. But like a whole bunch of stuff was happening in my hometown with like selectmen like denying stuff and not approving stuff. And they did a whole bunch of weird stuff, and they basically just ousted a whole bunch of people.
Of course.
That don't. This is a literal town.
Yeah.
And by that, I mean the votes are done by yay or nay.
Pretty much, yeah.
No, not pretty much. Literally, we go to town hall and they go all in favor. They say yay, and when it's not obvious, they say hands.
So when are you going to run for town election?
Are you kidding me? These guys are already wicked corrupt. I'm not even going to mess with these guys. I'm just going to buy a gun.
Okay.
Hey, so what's going on with your neighbors up north, dude? With Vermont?
He is up north. It's not neighbors up north. He is up north.
No, northern him.
He lives in Massachusetts. He has to get much.
What about the one in Vermont?
I got a brother in Vermont.
Oh, we're gonna go Vermont. All right, I see. Where
no, are you kidding me? I don't think he's still in office, but Bernie Sanders was a congressman from Vermont for like 874 years.
He still is in office.
He still is?
Yes.
He's still a congressman?
Yeah. He's an independent.
Bullshit.
But that was a senator, not congressman.
He's a senator that is classifying himself as independent. He's not a Democrat. He's an independent.
I want to find the dumbest human being on the planet, and I don't think we're even close to getting there yet.
You're gonna find him.
No. Bernie Sanders is a good transition. Vermont.
Yeah, there you go. That's where Ray was leading you.
Sorry, I'm drunk.
No.
Ray's on his game. No, that's what we keep Ray. That's what we keep Ray around for. All we need is for him every now and then to go, it's garbage.
Garbage.
It's garbage.
That'd be Sean, not Ray.
I know. It's funny is I still use that term all the time, but I never use it on the show.
Shenanigans.
I say shenanigans. Actually, I like to say malarkey.
Ray says Sean says shenanigans.
Are we allowed to talk? Oh my God, he's drinking PBR.
He's on a budget issues.
Yeah, wasn't that Sean's beer?
Yeah, that was Sean's beer, PBR.
Not only that, PBR. Not only that, but I'm pretty sure.
He had a problem parking his car.
Yeah. Well, he had to park his car in Harvard Yard because it's way too far to walk to the bar. He just wanted a couple of beers.
At least he's not drinking Mickey's tonight. I'm going to give him credit for his upgrading the PBR.
Hey.
Let me tell you how much easier it is to do a Boston accent when it's coming naturally versus trying to synthesize it again.
Yeah, because you're wasted.
Well, and I've been living here for like 2.5 years now. Again.
So anyways, this is a GOP governor.
Which one?
Vermont, Phil Scott.
Oh, yeah. Where she's going to give the shots to racist people?
No, well,
whoever
no.
identified as black.
Blacks and minorities.
Anyone who's not white.
Yeah, that's.
But it says
How many people
identified.
in Vermont are not black, are not white?
I said the same thing. I
Like,
mentioned I went out and
Probably one family. Is it just one family? Like the Johnsons?
Vermont, I would say
down the
that.
street?
Yeah, I've been to Vermont. It's all whites.
That's why he said, like, hey, let's do the black people for the Johnsons. Like, only 5 people family member. Like, okay.
You know what's even sadder though is Vermont is not just all white people, but it's all either really, really wealthy white people or really, really poor white people.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the wealthy people, they're not from Vermont. They're from like, out of state, aren't they?
Well, no, they have an
White
industry
people
or whatever.
have grown up in there in Vermont, you know. Burlington's got a little bit of mix of people because it's a very liberal city. That's where Ben and Jerry's is at.
Ben and Jerry sold out.
Oh yeah, big time.
Chinese party.
I've been to the Ben and Jerry's factory.
I've been there.
I did a tour. It was kind of cool, you know.
Yeah,
they
liked
sold
Hershey.
out big time. You know,
I liked Hershey better.
I haven't been to Hershey.
Oh, really? That was a good time,
I
man.
drove by a
You-
bunch
you
of
know-
times and then stopped by.
You guys aren't that far from Hershey, Pennsylvania.
No.
You should check that one out for real. They actually have like a theme park ride that you
Yeah,
ride
yeah,
through for
yeah.
the tour.
Yeah.
Sounds like a family trip one day.
Yeah, no, it was. Well, what we did as family as a kid, we drove down from Massachusetts to Pennsylvania, which is funny because it's funny is the wife just found out that Hershey, Pennsylvania is a place. She's like, "What do you mean, Hershey? No, hold on, Hershey's a place."
It's a city. It was built because of.
Yep, and I was like, and we explained the story, and she's like, "Hold on, that's where all Hershey." Wait,
Yeah,
what?
That's where Hershey chocolate bars are all made.
Exactly. She got so excited. She's like, "We can go to Hershey." She's like, "How far is Pennsylvania?" I'm like, "I don't know. It's like a 5-hour drive." She's like, "All right, that's not." And she's like, "That's not."
From Virginia.
No. Here from
Pennsylvania.
Massachusetts. From Massachusetts to Pennsylvania. And she goes, "Oh, it's not that bad." And I was like, "We were closer when we lived in Virginia."
Yeah. Like I could be in, like, if I live around like 5-4 in the afternoon, I could be by Hershey's around like 12 or 11 at night.
Yeah, it's a long drive.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you do
Well, again, remember, I'm coming from the other side. I'm coming from Massachusetts.
Yeah.
no, I'm talking from Virginia side. So yeah, probably 6-hour drive. Once I get the minivan, probably go over there. I've been wanting to go check it out.
We should go together.
All right, so we did the
I'm not talking to my wife is listening to this.
the
Trying
Vermont
to
thing.
include your wife in more things, but you're rejecting it. So
So what?
nothing.
Oh. Anyways, moving on.
I can't find Vermont on the list of the Google Doc. Can you cross that out for me?
I will in a minute here. So basically, they said like if you're not white, you can get the shot,
Yeah.
and if you are white, if you fall into certain criteria, you still can. Oh, there you go. You found it.
No, I didn't.
I did.
Oh my God. Oh, look at Ray. He's even using his own name on it too.
He's on the Google Docs now?
Yeah. Look at
Damn!
You guys make me follow the rules.
Sunglasses and Google Docs. That's what I'm talking about.
He went a little far. He went a little far, but here's something that I'm excited about.
Yeah.
How good is your Revelations knowledge?
It's pretty good.
You got a Bible study every weekend.
I do a Bible study every Wednesday night hosted on my Zoom account.
True,
And
but
now my wife is like, Brian does what? Yeah, he does Bible study, baby.
I've had a lot of people give me a hard time because they're like, "Oh, well, how?" They mentioned Revelations to me. I was like, "I'm not sure what it says." And like, "Oh, aren't you supposed to know this? Isn't this part of your religion?" I'm like, "Revelations isn't really part of like the Bible. That was actually like an article that was found after the fact, then added on." And I don't know how you guys see, but Ray, Catholic, Revelations is like an add-on, isn't it? Huh?
Easter right now this weekend.
John the Baptist wrote Revelations, didn't he?
It's debatable.
Or St. Paul at the gate.
It's not really sure who wrote it, but it's a crazy book.
Yeah, the 7-headed beast with 7 horns.
Yeah.
But this,
I see that almost every time we end up with a podcast. So,
huh?
I see the 7-horned beast every end of the podcast.
And maybe we should put that. Maybe we should have that as our logo for the show.
Or I could be too drunk at the end of the podcast to know what I'm seeing.
Marjorie Taylor Greene.
All right, bring it on.
Yeah, said that our COVID passport is the. Are you leaving again?
Yes. We pausing?
I will. You just
Okay.
gotta say something instead of just walking off.
Nice. We can do some vaccine passport. I'm a big fan.
Well, how good is your Revelations knowledge? As we were just discussing off camera here, or at least on my recording.
It's all right.
Typically, we didn't study Revelations. We studied the gospel, right?
I studied a little bit of Revelations.
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little
Mark
bit.
of the
But
Beast.
typically, you don't spend a lot of time in it.
No. Mark of the Beast.
Well, what does the mark of the beast say? Well, what does that mean?
666.
Before we get, well, that's an idea. The number of man, 666. That could mean a whole. That could be interpreted a whole bunch of different ways, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry, my Catholic training is coming out. I'm actually quoting scripture that I didn't think I was going to be able to quote.
You can quote it. You took
I didn't think I was going. I didn't
classes to learn a little bit of shit.
No, I should be able to tell you book, chapter, and verse, but I'm not that good.
Okay.
I'm gonna admit that, but I can't believe I actually, because I remember it saying the number of man 666.
Yeah.
That tells me the number of man tells me that's an interpretation of mankind, because we cannot understand these godly cosmic powers, right?
Uh-huh.
And we just we assigned it a number. It doesn't necessarily have to be 666, right?
No, but that's like the common number of the devil. That
True, but that could be symbolic. It could be. I've seen in the movie The Omen, the kid had a tattoo and it's a circle with 3 squiggly lines coming off, and it could be each of them could have been looked at as a 6.
Yeah,
and it was 666 in a circle. I mean,
Hey, hold on, but this is like Arabic number. Wasn't like
Monster.
Huh?
Monster energy drink. The Monster energy. No, the what makes the Ammon Monster Energy is actually Hebrew. It's Hebrew for 666. Yeah, how crazy is it?
But the number system we use right now is of Arabic. You know, it didn't come into the 12th century, 12th, 13th century when Italian banking system took over.
That's a good point. Was numbers interpretation of not even interpretation, language changes, right?
Yeah.
And what was initially written down might have been mistranslated 15 times
like
by
Roman?
now.
Was it Roman numbers they tried to write down? Was it like a letter because the G wasn't around with the Latin?
Who's supposed St. Peter? I thought it was supposed to be the guy who's doing the pearly gates did Revelations, but maybe not.
We can do research that, but anyway.
Anyway.
Yeah.
But the mark of the beast says basically you can't do business without the mark, right? Now the Bible says it'll be upon your hand or your forehead.
Yeah.
That might be metaphoric.
Might be. Could be the vaccine.
Or, well, yeah, the vaccine would be the final whatever, but it's accepting it and outwardly saying it. You know, as weird as it sounds, but just like this tattoo on my hand, that's there to declare to the world what this is.
Yeah.
I did that. I did that on purpose. So I actually put this tattoo on my hand next to my right thumb. So when I shake hands with someone, it will start a conversation about what that tattoo means.
Is that working for you?
A couple times, but typically speaking, in Massachusetts, I'm looked at like a scumbag.
Why?
Until 5 years ago, you weren't allowed to get a tattoo in Massachusetts.
Oh, okay.
Period.
So I thought honestly, when I shake people's hands, that's not the thing I look for. I look at people's eyes when I shake their hands. Like, you know.
Yes, but you look at their hand to make sure you grab a hold of it, and you'll see a tattoo right there at the point where you're looking to put your thumb.
I don't know. Probably the mechanic in me. I just like honestly, I would just glance at it real quick. I would look at it like a smudge of grease or something. Like, hey, what's up, dude? You know, shake your hand. I don't care how dirty your hand is, whatever. That's just me.
Uh-huh.
The idea was
I don't put too much attention to that.
Yeah. All I found was for a while it's slowed me down from getting a job in certain work industries.
Mm.
But anyway,
I thought you had a job when you moved back up there.
Yeah, and I'm still laid off. And like I said earlier, I'm pretty sure this layoff is a way for them to fire me without having to fire me.
Okay.
And that's why I'm gonna go get start this driving thing.
Yeah, that's cool.
Actually, they're gonna pay me almost the same amount that I'm getting now to start. So.
Well, once you got your CDL, you know a lot of things will open up to you. You
know. But I want to go back to this Mark of the Beast thing.
Yeah, go for it.
Hey, talk about hold on before you jump in. It's funny we're talking about this the passport stuff. One of our friends and stuff in here, she posted a picture like, "Hey, I got my COVID passport and stuff like that." Flip around. I go like, it doesn't really matter if you got it or not. You still have to wear a mask like everybody else.
Yeah, but you get free donuts from Krispy Kreme.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, actually, they got in a lot of trouble for that, didn't they?
No, they're still handing them out. Everybody's getting them still.
Actually,
you get if somebody gets a shot and you get a free donut. How do you know the same person doesn't go to the next store and next store and next store?
Who cares? Honestly, I don't give a crap. If these guys want to give you, they're going to say, thank you for being healthy and getting a shot. Here's a free donut.
Well, that's a contradictory of terms. You're not healthy and getting a shot and getting a donut. People getting donuts ain't healthy.
Oh, no, don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with a donut. I love donuts.
Yeah. But you eat the entire
you get a donut every day for the rest of this
Oh.
year.
Just don't
prove you got a COVID-19 vaccine at Krispy Kreme. That ain't healthy.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I love donuts, but yeah, just don't pretend that you're being healthy as you eat your donut. You know what I mean? We started making our own, by the way.
Oh
yeah. We do the donut holes, the munchkins, because it's a lot easier with we've had an air fryer for a while, and we got
an air fryer now too. We love it.
Yes, and we just got an oil fryer for a couple things you can't do with the air fryer.
You can't make donut holes in the air fryer?
I've never tried, but okay, that was the argument Tina used to me, so you can't make donuts in an air fryer. That was her argument. Which if she lied to me, it'll really drive me nuts because I actually argued for an oil fryer to start with and not an air fryer. The one we got won't do fat though.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if that means that I don't know how much you used a fryer growing up. But we used to boil French fries in fat.
Oh yeah, yeah.
This fryer won't do fat; it'll only do oil.
Huh.
Virgin oil only, I guess.
Vegetable oil.
Ooh.
Vegetable oil, but we grew up we used lard. Like we literally melted and boiled French fries in fat. Oh my god, it was so good.
Good too.
Anyway, this mark of the beast thing. I think there's something to be said here. Marjorie Taylor Greene is the crazy right-wing broad, and you know it.
Yep.
She is the AOC of the right.
Well, and the Democrats made her the poster child of the right when they stripped her of all of her committee chairmanship, her committee positions.
Yeah, I think that's working out in their favor. She's going crazier and crazier.
You think she'll get reelected in 2 years?
I have no idea how this is affecting her constituents.
You got to look at where she comes from and her constituents, you know?
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. I don't know enough about who votes for her to. Because
I have a feeling, if my gut is that she'll get reelected just because she stands up for what she believes in her district.
I stand for what I believe in, and I'm not a fucking U.S. congressman.
Well, you had your chance. You chose marijuana
When?
a couple years ago.
What? Expand, please.
You got to run for election if you want to be elected. You got to start small. Take over the Libertarian Party in Massachusetts, and we'll see where it goes.
Okay. I would, if I was ever going to run for office, I would run Republican before I ran Libertarian.
Well, that's a revelation right there that our listeners are going to want to hear. The
Yeah,
first time ever, Jeffrey says he'll run as a Republican over Libertarian.
I heard myself say it. I was shocked myself, actually. No, I really was. Like, did I just say that?
Yeah,
but realistically, if I wanted to be in office, I would have a far better chance running as a Republican than a Libertarian.
Yes.
Yes. I'm just like, I'm actually a Democrat, and I'm running as a Republican.
Doesn't matter what you are, you're just going to run as a Republican.
Well, that's why I think this party system is a bunch of bullshit. And it pisses me off because Trump, all of a sudden, Trump's this far right asshole. Are you kidding me?
I was a Democrat.
Trump, he's still, by the same standards, he's still the same guy. Trump didn't move. The Overton window shifted around him. What do you think, Ray? No, I got nothing. All right, he's got a crying baby. We're gonna hit pause here for a minute. No worries, Barty. I get it.
Sorry, I didn't know I had on mute. I'm going bad.
No,
I'm with you. No, Trump just.
Hold up, man. I hit pause. Hold up. There we go. What's up?
No, I'm just saying, like, I'm with you. Trump been saying the same shit, and just when he started running, apparently he's too fucking radical for everybody else and shit, you know?
Yeah, and the very people that asked him to run for office because of his views, like Oprah, they asked him to run for president, but he ran on the Republican ticket, and he did the same thing he said then. And all of a sudden, he's this far-right guy.
All right, if you go back to 2016 when he started running, take the views he had, go back 8 years before that, guess who had the same fucking views? Obama.
The deporter in chief.
I can show you videos when Obama said, like, yeah, you know, this immigration thing needs to stop, blah, 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 and all this stuff. You know, but
well, yeah, exactly. No, that's a good point. As Obama said the same thing was by giving this open border policy, we're encouraging people to march up here, and they're dying on the way.
Yeah, but when he was running as a president, senator, he was talking the same shit as Trump.
We're actually going to in a minute here, we're going to circle back to that.
We'll circle back with you directly. I can circle back. I'll circle back with you.
Yes, I had it ready that time, didn't I?
Took you long enough.
I know, but we will circle back to that. But I want to talk about Mark of the Beast.
All right.
Marjorie Taylor Greene is a crazy broad. But If they're gonna say you need this COVID passport to be able to do business, to be able to buy stuff, to be able to go out in public and do things, isn't that actually what was prophesied in the Bible, saying you will not be able to buy, sell, or trade without the mark of the beast? Now, the biblical prophecy says it'll be upon your hand or your forehead, but what if it's in your phone or on your phone in your hand?
I can see that.
And just a QR code.
Yeah, with the vaccine passport that everybody's going to need to do anything in the near future.
Yeah, and please do not let my insane biblical pounding in Catholic school, or I'm sorry, Sunday school, screw this up. I want to hear. I genuinely want to hear a Protestant say, "You Catholics are fucking crazy. That's not right." Unfortunately, Ray's Catholic too, and he's hearing the same thing I'm hearing.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I mean, it's a crazy theory, but it's a believable theory at this point. You know, everybody's got so much invested into the vaccine that I almost think that that's the way we got to go at this point. I mean, my pastor says he's not going to open up the church to like in-service worship until everybody has their vaccine. That's how believable he believes in the COVID-19 vaccine.
Yes. And then Catholics don't believe it, but a lot of other Christian faiths do. What is it when the righteous are picked up off the earth? What's it called?
Not resurrection.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
I know what you're talking about.
The second coming of Jesus, the rapture.
The rapture. Yeah. When the righteous souls are plucked up off the earth and the earth dwellers are left behind. The Catholic Church has left that out of the Revelations, but we left a lot of stuff out of the books that other Christian faiths did. My father is a Protestant, and his Lord's Prayer is different than mine.
Oh yeah, well, there's like
you guys have an extra verse.
I know of at least 2 different Lord's Prayers. So.
Yeah, for thine is the kingdom of whatever is. He's got an extra verse there, you know.
Hey guys, I know you guys want to talk Bible and stuff, but
what do you want to talk about?
I just don't see a correlation between that and this. I think it's more like taking control over people, you know.
Well,
definitely is that.
If you can't go to a baseball game, if Visa says you cannot do business through Visa, which is probably your debit card or MasterCard, same difference.
Yeah.
If they're saying we won't do business with you if you do not have this.
Yeah.
That means you can't. That means you can't trade money. You can't do trade, period.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with going with that route. Talk about, you know, like, hey, look, if you don't have your fucking permit, you know, like to do transition with us. But going all about the Bible on it, like, I just don't see it. Like, you know, like, yeah, I can see the first few minutes of it, but going on and on, hammering at this point, like, I don't see it. I just like, no, they just want to take control of it.
Well, thanks for bringing that up. Actually, good point, right? Is the Bible actually specifically says that no man shall know when the end of times is coming, right?
But apparently AOC knows 12 years, 10 by now.
Yeah, but she said that 8 years ago or 4 years ago.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about briefly about the states that have decided to eliminate all restrictions, and how is that going for these states?
Florida,
Texas, South Dakota.
Yeah, one of them. I'm pretty sure I heard one of their infection rates has dropped by 50%
with no mask. That doesn't make any sense.
Well, actually,
it doesn't follow the process of, hey, we got to stay masked up and we got to stay alive.
Yeah, what's funny is articles that were written 2 years ago, or I'm sorry, a year and a half ago, are coming up now as proof of what they're saying now is that being out in the sun is actually going to help you. It's going to like kill the virus.
Some states aren't allowed out in the sun.
Well, especially within the city. You can't just go outside in the city.
Last year, I had to break the law to go out in the sun.
Really?
In Virginia. Yeah, I had to go to my boat. And like, fuck you guys. I'm doing it. This is my boat. I'm going to hang out there. I'm going to enjoy the sunlight.
Apparently, the sun is the best thing to kill coronavirus. And I know it sounds weird to say that, but it really is.
Hey, you guys seen the video of the teacher?
I have not seen the future. No.
No, the video of the teacher.
Oh my God, the wicked racist one?
No, not that one yet, Bob.
No.
Put a link in there so we can watch the video of the teacher.
The teacher, she's like, "Oh, we need to enforce
mask. Play for us."
She's almost dying, trying to breathe through her mask.
Oh no, I didn't hear about that. That sucks. No, really? Wouldn't you just take it off?
It's like we need to enforce mask mandate and watch and stuff. She almost like passed out. But yeah, the teacher like leaked video is talking racist shit. And it was in California somewhere.
Well, I want to circle back for a second to Texas. Circle back with you directly. I can. Thank you. After Texas decided to lower all their restrictions, their virus level dropped by 50% in the state.
Yeah, there you go. That's all I saw in Texas. Washington Times report.
And it just shows you that, I mean, it may not be like the solution across the board, but how long do we believe the hype from President Biden before we give up on wearing masks and we like live our lives like normal again?
They won't.
Who?
The people.
What people?
The people of the United States.
So, like Democrat governors?
No, the citizens.
So, when can I stop wearing my mask?
Anytime you want, but as long as people are telling them that you are going to kill their family, someone might break your mouth, break your nose over it. I've honestly decided, you know what? Call me a conspiracy theorist, whatever. I honestly have full on decided. No, I full on decided this crap is not real.
Yep.
There is a virus, and it does spread very quickly.
Yeah.
American Red Cross, I mentioned this last week, found 20% of American citizens that donate blood, at least, already have antibodies, which means they've been exposed to this, they've had it, they've fought it off.
Yep.
That's saying that 20% of the population has already had this and didn't even know it.
Right. And here's interesting.
They thought it was allergies.
Is the fact that the people that are all rushing out to get their vaccines, the people that had COVID-19 already and fought it off, they're having the worst reactions to the vaccine.
Yeah, didn't Johnson & Johnson just get a bunch of crap? Or S.E. Johnson?
Johnson & Johnson?
Yeah.
Yeah, because nobody wants to take, I mean, they're the one-shot vaccine compared to the two-shot vaccine.
Well, there are 2 one-shots. Johnson
is one.
And Pfizer does the other.
I thought Pfizer was a 2-shot.
No, that's Moderna.
Okay.
Hey, so I sent you the video of the teacher. She almost passed out, trying to ask, trying to talk during her while she was wearing her mask and why mask mandate should be good.
Where did you send the video to?
To your, you guys, Drunk Sailors Messenger.
All right.
I'm sorry. I think that was great. I'm the drunk sailor's messenger.
Anyone who's
anyone who's listening to the show, that's actually what we used to like basically set the show up for the week.
Let's pause it. Just watch the video. It's just hilarious.
Yeah, he disappeared too.
Yeah.
I
tried to find a racist teacher.
I actually shut down Facebook. Yeah, did you watch that racist teacher?
I heard about it. Tim Pool was talking about it, but I haven't heard it yet. Yeah.
I'm losing faith in Tim Pool.
Well, I listened to the first 5 minutes to see what he's talking about, because after that it just goes on and on and on. Like, that's all. Huh?
Yeah, it seems like he's trying to be the next Rush Limbaugh more than anything else. You know?
Yeah, he's not up to that level.
No, but it seems like that's what he's trying to do.
Probably. He trying to he goes do his messages, like this is what I'm talking about, and after that he goes on the rant like, okay, I already hit this rant before, he's just trying to make this video last 15 minutes so at least you get the clickbait. Like, nah, I want to give you the first 5 minutes. I want to hear what you're talking about, and after that just move on. Like, I still like what's the name? Hex
Six and Hammer 666.
And I forget that he goes to Rumble a lot, and I do all the videos over there.
You know what's funny is I have a bunch of videos on Rumble, but I stopped publishing there a while ago. I never got any traffic.
Well, let me get my Neo mode. Okay.
There you go.
Anyways.
All right, next topic.
Racist teacher rant.
I guess this border crap's coming up, huh?
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good.
Oh, that's what we're doing.
AOC is saying it's not an issue anymore.
Why?
And it's not racist anymore. But it is actually, we can get into that.
Well, I actually got conflicting reports on this recently, because I thought that Vice President Kamala Harris had been put in charge of the border crisis. They're not calling it a crisis, but I thought she was put in charge.
I have audio recording of Jen Psaki saying it is a border crisis.
All right, let's hear it.
Oh, Jesus Christ. You want me to go find it?
Yeah, you got a recording? You got to play the motherfucker. Don't call that shit out.
I know, that was like last week. Geez, I cannot minimize the Zoom meeting. I just have to move it, I guess. Huh?
Didn't AOC don't call it a surge because of not insurging attacking us?
AOC did what?
She don't want to call it a surge of people coming in.
Oh no, because it's too military.
Yeah. They're like
surge is all of a sudden a military term.
Yeah. Because the insurgents.
What border crisis?
There have been expectations set outside of unrelated to any vaccine doses or requests for them, that they would be partners in dealing with the crisis on the border. And there have been requests unrelated.
The crisis, you heard that? The crisis on the border?
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't realize you can't minimize a Zoom meeting. You just had to move it out of the way.
Yeah.
I had to move a whole bunch of crap to find that in a hurry.
When you're recording, they don't let you move it. So.
Yeah, I had this in a file of old sound clips we've used before.
Okay.
By the way, I do keep them.
Yeah,
just for this.
Yeah.
That was a pain in the butt to get to, though. But yeah, exactly. She called it a crisis on the border. But do not call it a border surge.
No.
Because that's racist, because these people are not insurgents.
But they are.
No, this is what Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez says. Was they're not insurgents. It's not a border surge. No. Is this the same stupid bitch that said coyotes aren't eating people crossing the border?
I mean, Biden finally got pressured into this whole situation enough where he had to say the border is closed. But the whole time he was running for election, he's like, hey, the border is open. The border is open. The border is open. So he can't figure out why all these people showed up at the border all of a sudden.
With a shirt saying Biden let us in, and we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Biden. Yeah. Meanwhile, the guy that he was VP under was named himself the deporter in chief.
Yeah.
How that shows you how quickly the Democrats will change their point of view just because someone else agrees with them. They feel like they're obligated. No matter what Trump says, it must be evil.
Yeah.
Like, I honestly wish Trump had come out and publicly said, I like oxygen.
Oh, that would have been awesome.
And just watch what happened. It would have been hilarious.
I know where you're going with this. I love it.
Well, that's what they're doing, though, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
They're doing like, oh, Trump was an evil bastard for doing this. It's like, Joe, you actually wrote the policy and you pushed the legislation, and Trump was the one who undid it.
Obama.
Yeah, those cages, you built them, Joe, and Trump actually took them apart. And then when you got back in office, you opened them back up.
Yeah.
And Trump actually took them apart. And then when you got back in office, you opened them back up.
Yeah. And now they got like 3 military bases they're going to move migrant children to because they can't handle them all at the border.
What Guantanamo Bay? Sorry, I had to click on a whole bunch of crap to find. I got to get back. Where are we? There we go. Yeah. Was it AOC that said that coyotes aren't eating people crossing the border, or was that someone else? Was that some stupid civilian?
No, they're like somebody's like, oh, coyotes not bringing people over. Coyote, like they understand the term coyotes. Somebody just smuggling things.
I remember this being a big deal. It's saying, oh, coyotes doing this, and they're raping, they're murdering people.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember someone saying, oh, coyotes aren't raping and murdering young women. It's like, it's a wild animal. It's like, you do realize we're talking about coyotes.
Yeah.
Human smugglers.
Yeah, it's just the same name for different meanings.
It's basically, it's like, I can get away with doing whatever I want to do by just calling myself a different thing. It's like, okay, I'm a puma. Pumas do this. I'm not a puma, so obviously I'm not doing it, This makes me wonder, is she the dumbest human being on the planet?
Looking like it.
Well,
but she got reelected, so I mean,
I know she did. That blew my mind.
She can't be that stupid.
I gave the people of what was it, Brooklyn or the Bronx? Bronx. I gave them the benefit of the doubt, saying they voted for someone thinking she might make a difference, and then she showed to be stupid. And they were going to change it, and then they voted for her again. But she just came out the other day on the House of the Senate floor, or Congress floor, or whatever. It said Ted Cruz tried to kill her with laser beams from space.
Oh, good God. I know.
I'm not kidding you.
She is delusional.
What the hell? Does she think she's that important?
No, she does, but she ain't that important.
Has anyone called her out on this and said exactly like, oh my God, he's going to go pee again?
No. Yes, I am.
Oh, he's pausing it. Okay, hold on.
Year-old boy caught up in all of this. I'm told that before this all started, this student was an honor student, and then the pandemic hit, and that's when students were stopped being allowed to come here to this school in Palmdale. This is Desert Willow Middle School. That's when he started having problems, apparently, connecting his laptop for remote learning. His mother reached out to one of his teachers for help during a Zoom meeting. When it was over, the teacher apparently forgot to disconnect, and this is what was heard.
These parents, that's what kind of pieces of they're black. He's black. They're black family. Your son has learned to lie to everybody and make excuses. Are you to be a child? Because you taught him to make excuses that nothing is his fault. This is what black people do. This is what black people do. White people do it too, but black people do it way more.
That was science teacher Kimberly Newman back in January. We understand she resigned from the school a few days later, but now the mother of that 12-year-old boy, Katura Stokes, has filed a claim against the Palmdale School District, saying this racist rant is outrageous and heartbreaking, and it shows how students of color are unfairly treated by the educational system. The attorney representing the family says the mom in this case is a single mom of two, and like so many, she has struggled during the pandemic to keep her kids learning and thriving. And that during this teacher's rant, which went on and on, the mom started recording because she didn't think anyone would believe her without proof.
I'm sorry. Did they try to defend this woman?
Yes, they did.
She said some of the most offensive things I've heard in a while. That in terms of honest versus someone trying to either offend someone or a hyperbole to make a point in terms of this is what's happening out there. Remember, these are the people teaching your kids what's right and wrong.
Right.
They're teaching you this critical race theory that you keep supporting of, you know, certain people are supposed to get an advantage because they've been historically disadvantaged. And as soon as they think the camera's off, they basically say a whole bunch of ends, you know, don't know what they're talking about. I don't know, man. It's just
craziness.
Yeah, it knows it didn't happen in a freaking Republican city.
Nope.
Never does it?
Never.
But that's proof that the Republicans are wrong, isn't it?
Not at all.
Well, that's what they say every time.
Yeah, I like.
This is proof Republicans are wrong. It's like, this is your city, not our city. Or I keep saying our. I guess I think I don't like the Republicans either, but I'm sorry. I'm still getting pissed off. I don't know what to do, man. I don't like any of these parties at all, but
you just got to run for election.
Yeah, but how do you run for an office without a party behind you?
You can do it.
Okay,
I don't. And go up.
I don't have $1 million to run for a Massachusetts office without a party to support me.
City council.
That's like a bunch of excuses white people do not to run.
I don't live in a city.
Village council.
Town hall.
Town council.
Town hall.
All right, whatever.
Town hall is literally done by people who stand there with saying yay or nay.
I grew up in the town hall. Just do it.
Hey, you should run for senior citizen president.
Anyway, where are we going there?
The teacher, like racist outbursts. You know, like he's talking about how the kids like not be able to connect properly with the internet and stuff like that. Like don't you like prepare? Like, hey, you know what? Before we go to class, you know, let's get everybody linked up, see the internet works and stuff like that. Like, you know, like prepare. Like we do, like the way we should do before we start this meeting. Like, hey, everything works, you know. But hey, we fucked up. You know, we admitted, like, hey, we're not professional yet, you know. But yeah, just also too, she's a single mother. I guess like a lot of single mothers having issues in the COVID age. You know, they're trying to maintain the kids in school, but they can't because the Democrat city is like, nope, we're not gonna allow kids back in classrooms. So, you know, I guess Democrat city is not working well for single mothers.
Yeah, but apparently, if you're an illegal immigrant, you can go to school in California, just not a citizen.
Yeah. You heard about that shit too?
It's on the clip, Liz.
Yeah,
public school teachers decide to give immigrant children in-person instruction over their own students.
That was a good transition, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Not planned, but that's how we usually do our transitions.
Well, you got to find them where you can get them, right? You know, like Mike Tyson says, everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face.
Yeah.
Actually, that's a really good quote, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face. It's like, no, that's a really good point. That changes everything, doesn't it?
But San Diego is one of the largest school districts in California, and their teachers decided to do in-person, and they've been fighting in-person teaching for the last year.
Yes.
And all of a sudden,
because we're all going to get sick and kill our family because of it.
Even though kids are the most unlikely people to like get it and die from it. They may get it, but they ain't gonna.
Okay, okay. If I may flip that coin over,
Go for it.
I think the Democrats aren't making a good point, making their argument. Their argument is ultimately these kids could be carrying it from home to school through the kids to another home. The kid's gonna be fine,
right?
But someone else's parents might get sick.
So,
just to make that point, the kid can deal with it just fine, but the older person that they get come into contact with a week later gets sick from it.
I'm gonna roll this back, and on your theory, these teachers are young or old?
Or what now?
The San Diego teachers that are teaching the immigrants, are they in person? Are they young or old?
I have no idea. I'm assuming it's your typical school teachers, and you have a mix of the occasional 20-something-year-old school teacher, and most of them are probably in their 60s.
Okay.
Right? That's usually what it was in elementary school, right? Or
yeah, no, I'm totally agreeing with you. I'm trying to make a point here that I'm raising the bullshit flag. That's what I'm trying to do here.
Well, if you're going to teach someone else's kid who didn't get a fucking test done, but you're going to require my kid gets a test, but you're still not going to teach my kid, then what the hell am I paying you for out of my taxes? This is what you're trying to say, right?
Yeah, exactly what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, thank you. I'm sorry. You could just put it that way.
I was working on it.
I know you're trying to put it more eloquently. Yeah, you're taking my money to teach for school.
Yeah.
And now you're telling me that you don't even want to teach my kids.
Still going to school, Citrix, even though the school districts have been doing Zoom and online learning for the last year. And most public school districts do not want to go back to in-person learning full-time across the nation.
I'm actually not 100% against that.
Okay, all right. I don't have any kids of my own, but I've got a nephew and like a friend of my nephew that's my brother's girlfriend's kid that have been out learning.
I don't have kids, but I have a friend of a nephew.
All right, whatever.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's literally what you just said.
But
I'm sorry, but make your point.
These kids ain't learning shit online. They're logging in the morning and falling back to sleep. They're not paying any attention to what's going on. And now in Virginia, they're going to school like 2 days a week, and they still ain't putting any effort into it.
Now, maybe your earlier years, yeah, I might agree with you. But I think at a certain point in high school, you get to a point where the kids that actually are going to like have a shot at a big deal, the ones that are going to go get a scholarship at Georgetown, Harvard, Oxford, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, my nephew is not there.
Well, most aren't. But a lot of these kids could do well to be able to.
He was excited about going to school, back to school like a couple days a week, but none of his friends are there at the same time he is. So he's not. He's just making an appearance at this point, until all the kids are back in school and his friends are back in school. I think that's when he starts like paying attention to shit and doing shit.
Well, I'm not saying that online school instead of everything else. They would still need outside activity. I'm just saying that an online school is not necessarily an issue by itself. But we've used school for so long as a means to
indoctrinate.
Not even necessarily indoctrinate, but learn how to interact with each other. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. Jeez, that was loud as hell wasn't it?
No.
Sorry, I just smacked my microphone. I got something in here. I brought up the she wasn't the one who thought the coyotes were eating the immigrants. Who was that? It's gonna piss me off. I got something here about Biden. Trump asked for money to like solve some problems.
Infrastructure.
Yeah, the infrastructure plan. He asked for some money, and they said 20 billion was too much because there's way too much money. And 20 billion, I'm sorry. And Biden got 2 trillion approved by the same group.
He ain't got it approved yet.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't approved. I thought it was.
No. That's what he's going for. But they got to figure out a way around the Republicans to get that approved. So they're going to have to go a bunch of
all 6 of them
again to try to get approved. And Manchin from West Virginia is already saying, hey, wait a minute here. You know, this is the bullshit flag.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what I don't even know why I put that in there, honestly. Well, he wants to build a monorail.
Oh, Biden?
Yeah, he wants like a high-speed rail system like China. Yeah. He actually wants to model China for a whole bunch of our infrastructure in terms of travel. Mm-hmm. Do we really think
more electric cars and less gasoline-powered cars?
Okay, well, I mean, realistically, a 200-mile-an-hour train across the United States from, for example, from California to San Diego. That's a long trip, right?
Huh?
Boston to San Diego. 200, even 300 miles an hour. You could probably get it done in like 7 hours, maybe. For what?
Why? Yeah. No purpose for it.
You would have to set up an insane network, and then you would have to have where you would split off and have train stops, just like we already do.
Yeah.
Just like we do with airports.
Amtrak.
Yeah, and every airline there is.
Yeah.
You stop at different places and you get on a different plane or different train. You never get a straight shot where you want to go unless you're going from hub to hub, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't see the advantage of a high-speed rail. And granted, if you're going from Boston to San Francisco or Boston to Los Angeles, or not actually,
Ray.
Let me rephrase that. Probably not even Boston. You probably have to go from Boston to New York to get on this. Because Boston's probably not big enough to get on this system. You know what I mean? Because who's going to build this insane system to go to Boston when New York's right there, right? I guess I'm talking to the wall.
No, you're fine. Well, I'm tapping into somebody discussing about the border wall. Unfortunately.
All right, I'm gonna go pee too while I have the chance. I may as well, right?
Yeah.
You're supposed to keep him talking, Ray.
He don't like talking to me.
Why not?
I don't know. You can ask him. This guy about this GOP congressional candidate on Chinese migrants. That she don't want Chinese over here in the United States because of the intellectual property theft. And also, she dropped the other line about the flu virus. They give this to us, and they don't want to take responsibility. So my friend is like saying like, oh, they don't want Orientals in here. Like, no, you didn't read the fucking article right. just because she say Chinese doesn't mean Oriental, doesn't mean everybody. She just saying Chinese, because of the.
I'm pretty sure you're not allowed to say Oriental anymore.
Well, that's what he said. Okay. So he's from.
Well, Oriental doesn't mean Chinese though. It means of the Orient.
It means Russian, India, or fucking Middle Eastern. So we having a rant going on.
Exactly like.
Yeah, so he's like, one of his cousins like, well, they don't need to. Chinese doesn't need immigrants to steal intellectual property. Like, I guess you didn't read what we're talking about. We talk about immigrants from China over here because we had a teacher, UCLA teacher, found guilty of conspiracy to steal missile secrets for China to face up to 200 years in prison. So,
Why did she face 100 years in prison?
Yeah.
You could be Joe Biden and serve in the Senate for 120 years.
Yeah. So then he kept going on like,
what
would you say if they say Hispanic and stuff like? So he dropped the Hispanic thing. So I go off like, look, the only reason I don't want to.
I believe you mean her Hispanic.
No. What if she said Hispanic? They don't want it to come to this country because they bring gangs.
I was trying to be woke. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
You're not woke. You never will be woke. Nice try.
Yeah,
why am I still broke then?
Because you're not woke.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I thought like, look, the only reason I want to eliminate illegal crossing because I already had a family member die early in my life trying to do this illegally. He got killed by by Mexico. And if you're trying to kill the incentive, it's going to prevent people from coming here. And just recently, there's a girl that got gang rape, and to the point that she cannot speak no more. So that's how traumatized the little girl is. And also, I don't want illegal immigrants to get exploitation from them because of immigration status, And also, there's like a 6-month-old baby that was found on the river, Rio Grande, dead. And also, there's a toddler. Like, I don't know if you've seen the video. The toddler got dropped over.
I did that. They tossed over the wall.
Yeah. So, like, how can you be happy about this? We already got laws set by the Democrats and Republicans. All we have to do is enforce what we got already.
Well, the trust the scientists people aren't thinking about cause and effect.
No.
They're not realizing that saying, go ahead, if you get to our border, we'll let you in. They're not realizing that they're sending a message to the world saying, go ahead and take this insane risk. Throw your babies over a wall. Throw them in the river because you know that ICE will come save the 6-month-old before they arrest you.
Okay,
these are the risks people are going to take with this promise.
Jeffrey, okay, let me ask you this. Will you fucking trust anybody with your kids?
Not normally.
No, but if I'm living in a situation where my children will grow up poor and they'll have some disgusting disease that does not exist in a first world nation, I might risk throwing them over a wall and allowing the United States to take my 6-month-old so they might live better than I do. I don't blame the people taking the risk. I really don't. I blame the asshole putting the incentive out there.
Okay, honestly, I'm from this country that people are coming from. Okay, El Salvador.
Yep.
And people are running from there.
Well, I would not.
El Salvador ain't that bad, actually. It's pretty
mother,
decent.
She did not want to bring me to the United States. She did not want to bring me here because she didn't want me to suffer the way she was suffering here. Like, barely can fucking pay the bills. She barely can eat, always cold. We were better off in El Salvador as kids,
At least there was warm all the time.
Do you still feel like you'd be better off in El Salvador?
I would have had a maid, probably.
How?
I had a maid, dude. When I was younger, dude, we had a maid, like a lady that came and cleaned our house, cook for us, and fucking do our laundry. I didn't have to do shit, dude. That's how fucking poor I was.
Okay. You're not that poor
I mean,
anymore.
like I wasn't.
You may not
I
like be
wasn't
above
like.
the American standard, but you got 2 kids, a wife, and you're surviving.
But I'm not gonna fucking like if it shit got horrible in here, dude. I'm not gonna send my kids over fucking Canada and drop it off like I see you when I see you.
That's
No,
where I was
no.
going. Yeah, that's what I want to talk about. You know, it's like what parent in their right mind would just like drop their kids over the border hoping for the best?
Yeah, like I would not have the heart, dude. It fucking breaks my heart trying to discipline my kid, dude.
Yeah,
it breaks my fucking heart. And I don't know what kind of heart they got to drop the fucking kids over the border, hoping for the best. Like, I'm sorry.
That's actually my point. That's my point. Is Joe Biden who's putting the incentive out there for people, saying if they can get here, we'll keep them. Basically, they're incentivizing
on that a little bit.
They're incentivizing people to march 1,000 miles and throw the children in a river so that the Americans will save them, because these your poor your poor rural village Ecuadorian doesn't know what's going on. They just they see an opportunity and they walk 1,000 miles and they throw the child over a wall.
Yeah.
But they don't realize that they're gonna end up in the system.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even Biden has been forced to come out and say, "Hey, the border is
stop doing it." Yep, exactly. The border is shut, and it's like I thought we were all racist for saying that, right?
I mean, they've opened up 3 military bases in the country to handle children,
and apparently underpasses in Texas.
And I mean, if COVID-19 is his big thing, why is he testing everybody coming across the border for COVID-19?
Oh, because you can spread it, but some random person no one's ever heard of because they were, I'm going to sound racist, but I'm going to say someone born in some weird Central American nation that 3/4 of the nation's never heard of, gave birth in a hut, and it sounds terrible. There is still that happening in some of Central America, which is even crazier because Central America is a little tiny piece of the world. You know what I mean?
But there's a lot of countries involved in that.
Sure, but that's not even South America. I'm just talking about the little piece between the two of them, between Mexico and basically Brazil, Yeah. There's still some crazy stuff happening there. I cannot believe the world hasn't figured out yet or how to fix yet, but again, how much can you do?
Well, that's the problem with the way our system works, because President Trump had a system in place. He was only elected for 4 years. He kept everybody in the Mexican side. They wanted to apply for asylum. They had to do it in Mexico.
Remain in Mexico
policy says that if you want to apply for asylum, you got to do it in the first country you come to along the way.
Yes.
And even Salvadorian Mexico's president said, like, this is like letting people go out of your country is not a good thing for their country either, because you're letting all the good workers leave,
right.
And you're going to be known as the export country for people, not for your goods,
I agree with that.
There's an interview with him.
I'm not a huge Tucker fan. A lot of people think I am.
No, I know you're not.
I got nothing against the guy, but he's an opinion guy. So what? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, that's what makes Fox News so popular on primetime is everybody on there is opinion people. They do their opinion and you believe it or you don't. It is what it is.
Fox does the news at 4. And then they have the news that / commentary at 5 with the 5.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, they've been doing that show forever.
Yeah.
And they're fake Democrat that they put in there every time. But they got a Juan Williams now. They used to have the big fat guy with the suspenders.
I was thinking about the female.
Oh, the one that used to be the press secretary?
Yeah. No, not her. The black one.
Oh, she was a once in a while woman. I know who you're talking about. They had guest stars, just like what's his name there, Waters is like basically always on that. I haven't watched The Five in like years. Jesse Waters. Anyway, what the hell are we talking about?
I don't know.
Immigration.
Here we go. Let's move on to this. Matt Gaetz.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
What was he? Florida, New York, something. Congressman or governor or something. I know the name.
Ain't no fucking governor.
I know the name.
It's a congressman.
Yeah, he's been accused of like diddling kids, and New York Times might have published like an investigation or published something while the FBI was investigating.
Because he's a Republican.
Huh?
He's a Republican. Of course they do.
I've heard that name enough times in the last couple of years, and I don't remember thinking much of it. So I'm not surprised because in general, I don't think much of politicians.
No.
But they're saying he was like not just banging 17-year-olds, but like paying for it. Like 17, like child prostitutes.
Let's come back to reality.
Well, if that's happening, I hope he gets kicked in the nuts so hard his freaking eyeballs pop.
What'd you do overseas?
Everything I did overseas was legal in the country I did it in.
I'm totally down with that answer.
Okay, I'm gonna go find that. I'm going to record that of me saying that.
That'll be a good recording.
You laughing like that?
I had to call it out, you know.
I'm not sure how much you know of what I've done.
All right, here you go, Ray. Ray's talking.
Yeah, I gotta go. Got parenting duties to do in the morning. Pick up a furniture and stuff.
All right, well, thanks for being around.
Yeah.
We'll see you again. We'll see you again in a week.
More argue. Yeah, next week.
Yeah.
Tomorrow we was texting each other message. I think we need to come up with a separate message for like the other stuff.
I love that we need need a second messenger group for the show.
I don't know if we're gonna handle it.
You know? There's three of us. How many do we? No, I get it.
What I'm saying is for easy access for the document.
Explain it to us in the message, please.
I just opened the second message for you guys.
Thank you.
Document only.
We love you.
And the other one's a little chit chat for us.
Okay.
Bye, guys. Good night.
You too.
Keep chasing this Matt Gaetz thing. I don't know where there is to go with it, honestly.
I don't care, honestly.
It keeps growing. We'll see where it goes. If he's touching kids, you should go to prison forever, I guess. No, that's not right. I am interested in this. Do you hear about this Hunter Biden thing? And his shoot, what's her name? Shoot, I should have clicked the button. Hunter Biden and what's her name? Biden.
What's her name? Biden.
Yeah, Haley Biden.
Okay.
Like disposed of a firearm in a trash can across the street from a school, and broke like 15 gun laws.
But they're a Biden, so they don't care.
No, apparently Secret Service like deleted files of this, and it's like been caught. I thought it was fascinating. By the way, what is Hunter Biden doing banging his dead brother's widow?
Yeah, that's been around for a while now. So.
Yeah. And this is when this happened. This is when she allegedly disposed of this gun. By the way, why do you dispose of a gun? Like this way?
There's no reason to.
No, you would sell it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or whatever, but you don't throw it in a trash can across the roof from elementary school or high school.
Yeah, I mean, I just heard Hunter Biden come out and say that the laptop that was found pre-election may be his. Big surprise.
Yeah, actually, that's actually linked right in. Yeah.
And Joe Biden came out before the election saying, no way, no possibility whatsoever. He's already elected president. What does this revelation mean to politics in 2021? I'm going to need some help. You not hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, are you there?
Yeah, the internet died.
So I thought I did something weird by like looking at weird stuff. Then I was like, what the hell just happened? Anyway, Brian's back. Something weird happened. He disappeared. But yeah, Hunter Biden admits that the laptop that was of such a big controversy for the election, it could absolutely be his. He has no idea.
No, there's two ways at the time.
Yeah. And it was obviously just fishing before and making a big giant effort, making a stink versus this computer says that the president, now president of the United States, was making illegal deals with foreign nations. But if you say that aloud, you're some kind of asshole.
Yeah.
But the son of the president, whose computer it was,
yeah,
it's like, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I would say, man.
I don't either.
Yeah, we can go into this, but really, I don't know. We spent an hour on this, but I don't know what to talk about, really.
Yeah, let's choose another topic.
It's a bunch of bullshit. Like I'm sick and tired of Hunter Biden on.
I'm pretty much sick and tired of politics in general. So.
Well, I don't have much else to talk about.
I'm gonna make the revelation now that you don't want to hear. I've got a moratorium in place for the next show.
All right. Oh, this is the rule.
Yeah. We will not talk about COVID-19 in any shape or form or soul in the next show.
All right. That's tough to do, though, because if people are passing laws that restrict rights, it's tough to not bring that up.
Then we just bring it up on the following show. You know, the next show is going to be anti-COVID-19. There's enough stuff happening in the world.
Don't give them the power.
COVID-19.
Yeah, don't give them the power, right?
Exactly.
All right. Not sure it'd be so bad. We've been at this for like 3 hours already. We could probably cut out COVID and make it 2 hours, make it listenable.
Maybe. It may be a permanent ban, you know, in the end, you know, it just depends on how it goes, you know.
Well, especially depending on how COVID goes.
I just feel like that there's so much other things going on in the world that And we've been devoting a lot of our show to that, and it's been a big, huge distraction. I feel like a challenge for us in the next show, no COVID-19. That's all I'm saying. I can't hear you.
Maybe we can stand up and we can be the people that make the difference and make the stand. Maybe everyone can follow us and stop this bullshit. Because you know it's a bunch of bullshit.
I do.
You know it is.
That's why I want to pull the bullshit flag for the next episode.
Yeah, honestly, I don't believe that 99% of people believe this crap that enforce it either. Like I brought this up with D-Rock over at the bar today.
What do you say?
Well, I said something about COVID, and he goes, he's like, I don't know, man. You never know who will get you sick. I was like, you really think that any random person here could kill you? And he goes, yeah, maybe. I was like, so what the fuck are you doing out of your house?
Yeah, exactly.
He goes, well, I don't think the chances are that good. I was like, so what you telling me is it's Tuesday. You know what I mean?
So he believes it, but he doesn't believe it.
No. He's actually pretty much, I don't believe it at all. But I'm going to pretend I do, is I don't want to get in trouble.
Okay.
You know, I'm not picking on the guy because really that's the way a lot of people
No. I'm not asking to pick on him either. You know, it's reality is. You know, I'm like,
but yeah, you see people sitting at the bar at the restaurant being weird about masks, and it's like, dude, you're at a bar.
Yeah, exactly.
And you
chose to come to the bar. Fuck the mask.
You could have sat at home.
Yeah.
And yeah. Oh my God, it blows my mind. It's like, and you pretend like you believe this crap, but you came out to an environment where I might be sick.
Yeah.
You know?
Uh-huh.
That's why they want these COVID passports.
They're gonna die on the line.
I don't know, man. I'm pretty sure last week you said you don't trust the Supreme Court.
I don't anymore.
Well, if this COVID passport BS gets passed, what are you going to rely on to stop it? Men with guns?
Pretty much.
Yeah, well, I don't see that happening, honestly. I don't think anyone has balls to stand up to anything anymore. And throwing some rocks at a building or lighting a dumpster on fire and burning out a Wendy's is not the same thing as taking on the federal government, whether it's the United States or England. I don't think anyone has the balls to try that shit anymore.
Yeah, I got a flight scheduled to New Mexico in April/May, and that may be the last time I travel ever.
Why is that?
Because I don't have the COVID-19 vaccine or the passport. I don't plan on getting it anytime.
The mark of the beast.
Exactly.
That mark of the beast. So you can't go and do your work because you don't have the mark of the beast.
I can do my work because I'm doing most of my work right now over Zoom or the actual telephone. But I can't have any pleasure because I'm not allowed to fly. You know, I'm going out to a friend of mine that I knew from the Navy like 10 years ago, and going to his wedding, and it is what it is. So,
interesting.
His wedding is in Texas. I'm looking forward to the no mask state.
No mask. Yeah. Well, remember, I invited you up here.
And I'm coming.
Yeah, the bullfrogs are done.
Yeah.
Well, that was a breeding thing that they do with the croaking. That's insane.
Yeah.
I keep meaning to put a microphone out, and I never did. But the turkeys are out, dude.
Nice.
No, actually, today it's funny. I felt like a dog. I ran downstairs. And I opened the door, to where the baby and the wife was. And I yelled, turkeys, 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 turkeys. And she's like, what? I just go, turkeys, 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 turkeys. And she goes, okay, Athena. That's our dog's name. I was like, there are turkeys. Come look. we ran outside, and I'm not kidding you, not less than 20 turkeys marched down my street. Like 6 of them took off right in front of my house and flew up into trees behind me. Apparently, they already have nests up there.
Oh, wow.
We just happened to be there when all these turkeys like marched down the street. It was so cool. We didn't get any video of it, which is too bad. But I did take some pictures today of the turkeys up in the trees.
Okay.
And I zoomed out and I zoomed out and I zoomed out. And I was like, holy crap, these things. By the way, turkeys do fly. No, a lot of people say turkeys can't fly.
No, they do fly.
Yeah, and they perch in the top of 100-foot tall trees. Sorry, I was so excited to see these turkeys.
That's cool.
I saw some deer the other day. I got some pictures of them. I never shared those. They're just for the wife and I. But they were in the yard. But yeah, these turkeys, like I said, there had to have been 20, maybe 30 turkeys.
Mm-hmm. It
was so cool just watching them march down the street, looking around, gobble, 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 gobble. This is what I missed about living in the burbs, the turkeys and the deer and the coyotes and the foxes and the possums even.
Mm-hmm.
Actually see a possum versus just roadkill that you see in the city, right?
Yep.
Anyway, I don't know what else you want to talk about. There's a couple more topics up here. Actually, a couple of really good ones.
I think we just take a break.
Yeah.
Do what we got to do. Come back.
I hit pause. Oh, not much thing.
Yeah.
A member or a guest on the show was actually graduated from the school, and it was like a 15-year-old and a 17-year-old had sex with this illegal immigrant 18-year-old, and it ended up, jeez, I'm going to click on it now. But basically it got turned into like nothing happened. But it was an adult and children. Here we go.
How was that nothing?
Huh?
How is that nothing? Adult and children. Doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, Maryland
prosecutor and something happens to happen.
October 21, 2017, Maryland prosecutors have dropped child pornography charges against Rockville teenager Henry Sanchez Millian, quietly ending a case that erupted onto the national stage when Sanchez Millian and a friend who each entered the country illegally last year were accused of raping a classmate in the school bathroom. Geez, it goes on, but it basically goes into 8 full-grown adults were accused of rape by a child.
Okay.
Now, just the fact that it's a child is enough to call it rape, isn't it?
Yeah.
Let alone her saying I didn't want to, because she didn't actually have the authority to give consent, did she?
Not in the back of the day.
Well, no, not even today. A 15-year-old does not have the authority to give consent to an 18-year-old man.
No, not at all. Never.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's my point.
She's a minority. She's a minor, and she can't give her consent to somebody that's of age. No way. No matter how they try to portray the law, it just doesn't happen. Can't happen.
Yeah, I found out about this the other day. Like I said, listen to a Tim Pool thing, and it's pretty terrible.
Yeah.
Anyone who's actually, I don't want to go into details because like Brian says, it's something you put in here. It's you really want to talk about, but no, I was so offended that I put it in here.
Yeah.
But anyone interested in looking up, it's called the Rockville rape case. Google it, Bing it, whatever, it'll show up. It's pretty messed up. Basically, people didn't go to prison for a long time because they were illegal immigrants. and it basically would have blown their cover, and they couldn't be here in the United States anymore. And it really pissed me off because, like, put them in prison is still better than where they came from. You know?
Yeah. All right. I don't know about you, but I got like one more topic I want to talk about.
Sure, I couldn't find anything else. I was getting ready to call it quits.
No, let's do one more topic and then call it quits.
All right.
I want to talk about the oh damn it.
Pipeline workers?
Nah, the road.
Russian investigation.
The road.
The what now? Yep.
The road that goes from China to Asia, it's going to bypass all the shit we're trying to do overseas.
Say that again.
No. What the fuck?
Yeah, a road from China to Asia. China's in Asia. Yeah, you have no idea what you're talking about, do you?
All right, here. Nope, I got it.
Oh shit.
Biden suggests UK's Johnson that allies should have a plan to rival China's Belt and Road.
Yeah, oh no, yeah, we brought that up. The railroad thing, the infrastructure.
I learned about this from the No Agenda show.
Yeah, you're months behind. I'm pretty sure we brought this up before.
I'm sure we have.
And not just Trump or Biden. I think here's the question is how much money is we as American citizens willing to spend to build a train system to get you from Portland to Orlando to Oregon to Sacramento? You know what I mean?
Well, that's all part of the Green New Deal. I mean, there's $2 trillion that, and the first part of the bill is planned on being spent on just that kind of transportation.
That sounds like a whole shit ton of math
And
to make sure you're not going to get trains colliding. If we plan to implement this nationwide as a way to get around, instead of planes, for real, we have to make this thing go, 200, 300 miles an hour, which we can do.
Yeah.
Actually, very low energy. Because you can get a train moving real quick as long as you let it keep going.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. Like it sounds like a lot of math to make sure that these things don't collide at crossing points. You know what I mean?
It is. This is all comes down to a point of how much money do we want to spend on so-called public transportation? You know, green energy kind of plan for public transportation.
You want an example of when this was done?
Sure.
You familiar with the Big Dig?
I've heard about
it. Okay. I'm going to give you a little bit of what's going on here or what happened.
I thought it was all done.
Yeah. Yes. You gotta give this a read for real though. They went billions of dollars over budget and it took an extra decade. Basically, what they did was take the highway system in Boston and put it underground.
Right. Around the airport. Around the airport.
Well, that allowed them to put parks where the streets were.
Okay.
And actually, that sounded really nice, didn't it?
Yeah.
Problem was, every time they dug a hole in Boston, they found an arrowhead.
Want me to tell you the real truth about the problem in Boston?
Sure.
Were there any unions involved in this process?
Big Dig, yeah. This Big Dig started in the 70s and it ended in the late aughts, right after the 90s ended.
So how many people that were in the union when they started actually retired from it before it was done?
Many. And it was supposed to be done in like 10 years. And exactly like you said, people retired and they never left that particular job site. But every time they dug a hole, they found an arrowhead or a crate of tea in Boston.
So they attributed that to Elizabeth Warren.
No, that was a good one. But yeah, it cost us. Oh, it cost billions of dollars. Actually, it took decades more because every time you found a crate of tea, you had to excavate the site, and you couldn't build.
Whether it actually was a real arrowhead or not, it didn't matter. You know, you had to take the same precautions in the whole process.
Well, who cares? All right, you're digging a hole. You find a crate of tea. They come down, they check out. Yep, here we go. We'll take it. Then you drink, and then you go ahead another 100 feet. You find another crate of tea. How many crates of tea do you got to give these guys? Is it your responsibility to find all of them?
Yeah.
No, it's like at a certain point, you're like, all right, man. It's like, and I get it. These are historical things, but like, you're not gonna go get them. Let this guy dig his hole. Apparently no one gives a shit to go get him, right?
That's where you're not really a Bostonian anymore.
What now?
Because they use that as an excuse to drag out the whole contract process and get more money out of the taxpayers in Massachusetts.
I'm going the other way, saying let the guy just drill his hole.
Nope, not happening.
No, exactly, because you can't drag it out.
No, but they did. They found a way to drag it out.
Well, if you want to make this a historical site, then go ahead and do it. But don't do it every time they drill an extra 25 feet and find another whatever. It's like this stuff happened.
They did. And
they really did do it.
Contract, and that's how they made more money in the process.
Yeah, that's what sucks. They really did do that, and that's how they've been there for 200 years, and no one cared to go get it.
Yeah.
Until these guys said, we're going to build an underground railroad system. Right. And the government gave them an unlimited check.
Yes.
Then everyone had an issue to get paid.
No, because everybody wanted to get paid.
By the way, and all that bullshit got paid out of by the Massachusetts taxpayers' pocket, not everyone else's.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they got actually every time they found an arrowhead or a crate of tea, you paid too. They got federal granting funding every time they found something. Then they had to dig, you know? It's BS, dude. I'm sorry if we got something weird and crazy. It pisses me off that they completely built to the system and no one cared for 35 years or 40 years.
I lived through the system. I drove through the system. I know what you're talking about.
And when they finally finished this stupid big deal, by the way, they finished it like 8 years ago.
Right.
Not even kidding you. It took that long. Within 6 months, shit was falling off the ceiling. Tiles fell off the ceiling, killed people driving through the tunnels on the ground.
It's right.
Yeah. And by the way, you know what happens when you have a car wreck underground?
No.
It F's up traffic even worse than above ground. People panic. They hit the brakes. Anyway. You got some Schumer crap here.
Yep.
What's Schumer butthurt about? He fought a new way to bypass the Republicans?
Yeah, he wants to do another budget reconciliation. They're only allowed to do so many of these a year. And he wants to, pull it off. To do
your hiccup's drunk.
I know.
Yeah. I guess I am. Anyway, Schumer. What's he butthurt about?
That the filibuster is still in place, basically.
Yeah, he wants to do something weird. The Democrats need to stop doing this.
They can't figure it out. They don't realize that they're burning their own bridges when they do it.
Every time.
Yeah.
my entire life, I've been watching the Democrats think that they're fixing stuff, but they're burning their own bridge. And it's like, then the Republicans go,
how
like,
many times did they change the filibuster rule?
well, I'm not even thinking filibuster. I'm just thinking in general. Like, look what they did with they're trying to get what's the guy's name that tried to get into Supreme Court? Merrick Garland, yeah, Attorney General, right?
It worked out better in the long run. He's now the Attorney General of the United States.
I honestly, I like Merrick Garland. I do.
I don't know that I got anything against him.
No, exactly. Like the guy seems qualified for the job. How's that? Yeah. No, there you go. How's that? I might actually cut that clip out and go, I don't have anything against him.
No.
And use that for our opening sequence. Yeah, it's like, no, the guy seems qualified for the job. But what they did to try to get that guy in the Supreme Court is what allowed Trump to get 3 justices into the Supreme Court. And they keep doing this every time, trying to give themselves an advantage.
Well, they just realized what happened, and now Biden's got like 20 people that he's trying to get in the lower courts, you know.
Here we go, Brian. Let's F the last couple things that we have to talk about here.
All right.
And let's have a fun little theory. Let's say I wanted to run for office and I wanted to become a congressman in Massachusetts, not for Massachusetts, but in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean by the difference?
I think so.
Yeah. Well, not federal, but state.
But we're going to go to the bathroom first.
I'm going to bring this up right now. I do miss living in the city in that you could get anything you wanted at any time of day. It really was convenient and easy.
Yeah.
Certain times of day, there's nothing like this. Like, you can't do that anymore. You know? And like society just shuts down. Like, it's not like Newport News where everything's just going. Like, you can go to Church's Chicken, or I'm sorry, Dodge's. Is that one that was in the gas station?
Either one. Yeah, Dodge's. Yeah.
I like Dodge's Chicken. I had one right behind me in Newport News. Something weird happened. I loved it. Stuff like that doesn't exist here. I can't just go to the gas station and get good fried chicken at 3 a.m., you know?
Why not?
Because they're not here.
You got to have something like an equivalent for that.
Not realistically, I really don't. I have a McDonald's and I have a Wendy's and a Taco Bell, and none of the three are 24. Where are you going?
I gotta like deal with cat issues. There we go. We're good.
But yeah, none of them are open 24 hours.
Okay.
I can get fried chicken. I can get waffles. I can get ice cream. Oh my God.
This is what happens. You have too many cats in your house.
But yeah, I used to be able to get any kind of like anything I needed any time of hour.
Yeah, well, you need to move to the West Coast. That's where it happens, on the West Coast.
Well, it happened in Virginia when I was living in the city.
What happened there?
I could get anything I wanted, whatever. Dude, Sonic, I could get breakfast at any hour of the day.
Yeah, that's
24 hours a day.
Going for it, you know?
Huh?
That's what Sonic's got going for it. That kind of thing.
There's a ton of breakfast joints out there. We got a couple up here, but they're all privately owned. Actually,
Dunkin' Donuts.
Well, Dunkin' Donuts. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's different. They got huge, but that's from up here. But we got a whole bunch of this is actually what I'm excited. If you come back up here again and visit me, you can just see some of the restaurants. They're almost all privately owned. They're not chains. Right. There are some chains, but they're like, hey, Bob and Louise make really good pasta, I don't know. It's nice, but at the same time, is you don't get that guarantee you get from Papa John. I do have a Pizza Hut within a couple of miles of me, though. It's just I say just about a mile and a half over the Marshfield line. They won't deliver to me though.
You're too much of an asshole.
Huh? No, go ahead and drink your Long Island iced tea.
Captain Coke.
I assumed as much, actually.
You didn't bring it up, though.
Well, I don't know.
What other topic you got for the show?
I don't know. Schumer doing a stupid thing. Russia investigation. I didn't. I'm gonna admit I didn't read most of these. I did read the Keystone Pipeline thing though.
Okay.
But I don't know. I'm out of gas.
Okay.
None of this shit seems to really matter to me.
All right.
And I'm kind of hungry. Maybe that's why I'm out of gas.
So what? We're gonna stop recording. You're gonna get something to eat. We're gonna keep on talking.
No, I'm probably going to like order food and sit down and eat it, and it's gonna be my night.
All right.
Probably. Oh, I'm gonna be honest here.
I like last week's episode because we just hang out after the show and we just did our thing, you know.
Yes, but I have to figure out what I want to eat now too.
I'm not saying bullshit, you know.
I know. I'm just saying it's midnight. I only have a couple hours. Well, there's only a couple places open this late where I live.
So we gotta close this show down so you can.
Holy crap! I forgot we're recording. Crap.
Yeah, we're still recording.
All right. Well, I guess that's episode 33.
33, the magic number.
We could have done better. We should have done better. We didn't do better. There we go. That's how I stop recording.
Is that how you do it?
That's gonna take forever to process.